Warning. The Pop-Punk Book Club features heavily biased opinions and unapologetically wild takes performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals to ensure the safety of performers and animals alike. We may sound confident, but our views are based entirely on personal feelings. Accordingly, the PPBC and the producers must insist that everyone attempt to recreate and reenact these stunts and activities. Join us at poppunkbookclub.com.
Did you have fun yesterday?
I did. What about you?
I did, yeah.
Tell everyone what we got up to.
So for those of you that don't know, well, none of them would know, would they?
I doubt it. Maybe one guy would. The guy we're about to talk about.
Yeah. Jay and I went to a baby shower / engagement party for a good friend of ours, Brent, at his parents' house.
Yeah.
Which is super weird because growing up, I was really good friends with Brent, like all through his primary school from when we were like 5 or 6 years old. So going to his house, like right from that.
1 second.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. It's Sam's birthday yesterday. He turned 37. Happy birthday to you.
Oh,
Hip. Hooray!
this is too kind.
I got a little cake for you.
This is just too generous.
Hence why the whole time I'm like trying to send text messages to be like, please, cake handoff.
How did you coordinate?
Thank you, Greg. He finally does one thing right.
Yeah, I know. I was about to fire him.
This will buy you a couple more. What we should do is with Greg is have for every good thing he does, adds a couple more days on that before we fire him. Because it's coming. It's coming with how bad this has all been. But the whole time I'm like saying about yesterday, it wasn't just Brent's baby shower and engagement party, was it?
Well, it was my birthday, but the event wasn't for my birthday. It was fortuitous.
No,
so,
but it was I mean, there was some big events on yesterday, and we went and celebrated with Brent, yes, but there was a sneaky little birthday for you. But blow the candles out.
Got my wish loaded up.
True. Oh, yeah? Can you say what it is, or will that make it not come true?
Come true.
There you go. Chocolate cake for you. There's a knife there. You're going to have to eat it like Crocodile Dundee eats the apples, or whoever it is with the slicing the apples off. You're going to eat it straight off the knife. Full Aussie bloke. There you go. Just like full Aussie Crocodile Dundee. There you go, man. Happy birthday. But no, what's my age again? 37, such a niche reference, but at the end of Blink-182 at Daytona Beach, where they do What's My Age Again?
Yes.
Mark says 27, 10 years older than that.
Yeah, I know.
Getting old. But happy birthday.
Thank you.
I did kind of like I sort of have something to give you, but it's kind of for both of us. Okay, so I've got 2 presents in my bag.
Yeah.
For both of us. One for each of us. You call 1 or 2, and whatever one I grab out first, if you call 2, 1 goes to me.
All right.
You get 2. All right. Make sense?
Yep.
Do you want me to go over it again?
No.
So what number are you going?
2.
2. Okay.
Alrighty.
And this is mine. Well, happy birthday to you, man.
Thank you.
37, pushing 40, by the way,
Yeah,
as
I
we
know.
say. But with the celebrations aside, now feel a little let's not skip over the fact that it was your birthday. You thought we were just going to glide over that. It was my birthday, by the way. And we also did this. But no, of course, we have to celebrate in whatever little way we can. But yeah, so we're at our friend Brent's house. Now, Brent has been a close friend of ours for years.
Yeah.
We've both been in bands with him over the years.
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time with that dude. You've spent a lot of time with him. You grew up with him, right?
I did. Yeah, I've known him since kindergarten.
I 100%. We talk about on this show about it's just us usually sitting here banging on and talking about crap. But we have said that in the future we'd love to bring friends in that like the albums as well, just so it's not always people who are in bands or that have contributed. We can have friends in here chatting about as well to make it a broader book club. And I'm sure that Brent will end up being on an episode in the future.
Yeah. What do you think would be his the dream album for him to be on?
Probably like Louder Now by Taking Back Sunday or something like that. Because he's a very talented bass player.
City albums.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Like Even If It Kills Me or something like that. I love that one too. But isn't it wild to see him, like, I don't know, just to see those chapters of your life where it's like people that you remember from high school and stuff. Like now, it's a baby shower and an engagement party.
Yeah. It's like condensing all of the milestones into one.
Yeah. Let's just get them all out of the way. But what's crazy about it is that I haven't been to Brent's house since he's like 30th, which was 7 years ago or something like that. And before that, like since we were teenagers, because it was like the party house.
It was. Absolutely. And his like parents would always have parties for any kind of like family member's significant birthday. There'd be parties there. Then like New Year's parties.
Yeah.
It was like,
Or they'd go out for New Year's and Brent would throw a party at his place.
Yeah.
And it was like the closest thing that we experienced like to a like American Pie kind of house party, like, that type of thing. If there was a party on that was worth going to, it was likely going to be at Brent's house.
Yeah.
But it also, led to some wild stuff, which is really weird walking around the house and he's like, all his family are there, like his grandparents, they're all dressed up so nicely and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful event. And it's like, the shit that went on here over the years is crazy.
but the house has hardly changed. And yet,
No,
like
not at
for
all.
me, like I still feel like I was like a little kid going into that house because that's kind of when I first kind of like got to know that house was when I was a little kid and it always seemed massive.
But it's like we're in that chapter of our life now, talking about American Pie. We're like in the reunion stage where everyone's moved on with their life and there's a new life.
We're in the shittier movie stage as well. Like we're way past the peak.
Well, that's true. And I mean, looking at the funny thing about it is when we were that young, if we could tell ourselves, like, we'll be back here when we're like nearly 40 for like Brent and Chrissy's engagement party and baby shower. And the reason I say this, I know that people listening will be like, we don't know these people. And like, we didn't experience that or anything like that. But isn't there like a bit of that in everyone? Like revisiting places from when you were like younger and it just being different. Like you used to live right around the corner from Brent's house as well.
My childhood home was right around the corner.
Is it weird going around that? Because I personally find it weird driving past my grandparents' house that my grandfather built that now another family lives in. It's really kind of surreal and strange to see a house that you have such fond attachment to, but someone else is living in it. And it's something that you never really think that you have to kind of process or deal with, but it is part of it.
Well, my mum still lived in that house, my childhood home, until only about 5 years ago or something.
Yeah,
like
right.
That. So we're
So it wasn't
still
that
going
long
back to that general area reasonably often. But to Brent's house, that still feels like, you're like a 10-year-old when you're going back there now.
Yeah, because you're right. Nothing has changed inside it.
Nothing has changed.
No, not at all. Yeah.
But so like all through like our teen years for like, the teen parties and stuff, like someone would always end up crying by the end of the night on like the driveway or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But like the earlier parties when we were in like primary school.
Young people and alcohol just doesn't mix. Who would have thought?
But like the earlier parties, like when you're in primary school, you have like a sleepover party for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was never a part of any of them because I didn't know you guys then.
No.
This is all news to me.
But so those parties, that'd always end up with someone getting hurt and like crying for a different reason. You know what I mean? Because they like, from playing football or whatever.
Oh,
like
yeah.
There's one though when, I don't know, we must have been like 9 or 10 or something like that. And someone brought firecrackers to the party.
How old were you? 9 or 10 and you have access?
We were in primary school. So like and I don't think it was like towards the end of primary school.
Right. So someone's dad's been to Fishwick. You know what I mean? Remember when?
For more than one reason.
Fishwick was like the town. I mean, if you're from Australia, you may know, but like it's in near Canberra and it was like the place to get like firecrackers and porn, isn't it? Like that's the two things that you could get
I'm pretty
there.
sure it still is.
I don't think so. I think they've stopped making the firecrackers there. But so many people would talk about going to Fishwick and it usually meant going to get firecrackers.
Yeah.
And I remember one year, just to say quickly, Dad got firecrackers through someone else who went to Fishwick and he just bought an assorted box. It was like a box of like Cadbury favorites of like, who knows what you're going to get out of this. And one of them was like this little, he was lighting things. It was New Year's Eve, right? And we had people up from down in the street coming up and launching fireworks in the air. And one of them was, it looked like a small like cricket ball sort of thing. And it had a hole in the middle of it. And he's like, I don't know what that's for. Like, I'll just put it on the ground and light it. And he lit the side of it. And obviously that hole's meant to be to nail it down because it spins and it goes and throws it. And because it wasn't nailed down, as soon as it started spinning from the I don't know, the science and the physics of it all, it just launched like flubber out of the movie and just started going around. Ding, ding, ding. Or Men in Black when he's got that, lets that thing go, whatever, it smashes everything. And one of the ladies got hit that was there for the party and like, it was atrocious. It was almost like if that was a movie, all that chaos and there's sudden cut to like Dad, Mick, who used to live down the street as well, standing at the front on the driveway as police slowly come up our cul-de-sac. Just look at Dad, look at Mick, they just have their beers and he's like, hey, don't. And the police go, okay, and just keep driving and go down and stuff because the neighbors reported us for the illegal fireworks in the backyard.
But this one, I mean, speaking of firecrackers going where they shouldn't, we're like...
What?
So we're all standing around like watching this thing and we're over on that, there's like a vacant block like on the other side of the driveway at Brent's parents' house.
Yes.
We're over there somewhere.
With the goats?
No, not with the goats.
Oh, right, yeah.
Thank God. We're sort of standing back. I'm guessing like a safe distance to watch these things and someone's setting them off. And like Brent, when he was a kid, he was pretty athletic. right?
Yes.
Like he was the fast kid.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And so we're over there. Someone's letting them off. We're watching them go, and then all of a sudden, one of them goes off, and we're like, "Where the fuck did that go?" Turn around, Brent's gone, like running back towards the house. He's just like shot off over that way. Turns out it had like hit him in the chest, through his shirt, and like burnt a hole. Like the guy's still got a scar. Like,
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I think I remember him saying something randomly about a scar on his chest one time. And that's what that's from?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And it's so he's running, he's already fast, but because he's been hit by a firecracker, unlocked a new speed.
Yeah.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog just
Before
got
we knew
out
where
of
the
there.
firecracker had gone, Brent's like that way off, like almost back at the house. So Dookie,
Yeah.
Green Day.
Yes, Green Day.
Yes.
Good pick.
The dreaded Green Day.
For me, yes.
Yeah.
Especially 20 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
I was a hater.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm so interested.
Proud of it.
I've been waiting for this one. So interested to see what you say about it.
Yeah. It's not that I didn't, it's weird. It's not that I didn't like Green Day. It's just that when I got to an age in which I realized that I could pick and choose. Pick and choose. I'm going to say pick and choose. I don't know what I was trying to say then. Anyway, that I could pick and choose the bands that I listened to and the ones that I connected with the most. And Green Day I didn't connect to as much.
Yeah.
I think
did you feel like there was a time where you weren't able to pick and choose?
No, but I feel like when I was younger, I got delivered what I listened to mostly off Rage, for video clips and the radio and stuff like that. So I listened to a bit of Green Day back then. I knew songs like a few songs, maybe some of these off this album as well.
Yeah.
But I didn't, I felt like I was very much at the mercy of what I was being delivered. But when I got to the point of like, no, I'm actively seeking out and buying the CDs I like and, listening to the bands I like, I just realized that I didn't connect with Green Day as much as I did other bands. And because of that, it's really strange because even to this day, I still don't, I don't feel like that with the band that I don't have that emotional connection to them.
Yes.
Even though I've matured a lot since then, I'd like to think, and I look at them differently. There was nothing, let's just say they connected with me less than other bands did. And because of that, I kind of pushed them away.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting point for us to start with because obviously Green Day.
You should be cuddling that pillow today.
I should. Exactly. Perfect. You stay. Obviously it's, one of the most important albums of the genre, but obviously I know that you've never been a huge Green Day fan. And I would say, like you, I certainly haven't had the same emotional connection to Green Day that I did with Blink and other bands in the genre.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about why that might be, because I reckon there's other people in our age bracket, like in terms of like the people that we were really close friends with when we were getting into this style of music. I would say that like most of us, or most of them, were not really big Green Day fans, and gravitated more towards Blink and some of those other bands.
Do you think that's because we were just a little bit too late on them?
Well, I think that's the thing. So
they were still releasing music but I remember Time of Your Life was out when we were in primary school, and
sure,
yeah.
But if you think about like the Green Day chronology, so like Dookie comes out in 94.
Yep.
And then they've got Insomniac 95.
Yep.
Nimrod comes out in 97, which has got Hitchin' a Ride.
I bought that album when I was younger.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 97. So we're still like, 9 years old or something.
Yeah.
And then they've got Warning in 2000. But I don't think that was a really kind of significant album from like, in terms of the genre, in terms of like capturing people. I don't feel anyway.
Maybe that's it. I just saw them as more of a radio band.
Yeah.
Rather than a like an underground kind of band that whatever.
So if you think about when we really kind of came of age in terms of listening to this genre, that's like at about the 2000, like 99, 2000, 2001. And I just think at that point, Green Day just were not as relevant, or they weren't in the consciousness in terms of the genre.
In the genre. Because in the mainstream, they were massive.
Sure.
Like Warning was really big in the mainstream. Time of Your Life was really big in the mainstream. They were like a huge, they were selling stadiums. And maybe that's the thing is, I don't know, because do you know like Riding in Vans with Boys? That's the tour of Green Day and Blink-182, right?
Yes.
So when I was younger, almost saw, and I'm not saying I was right in thinking this way, but it's how it felt to me when I was younger, that Blink were the hot band of the moment, and Cut You Up were awesome too because they were coming up on the road and they were hilarious as well. But Green Day were kind of like the veteran band that went on tour with them at the same time. Yeah. Even though if someone is listening right now who's a huge Green Day fan would be like, excuse me, what about this hit, this hit, this hit?
Yeah.
And then they brought out like Wake Me Up When September Ends and like American Idiot and stuff like that. They were still so relevant and so big and so massive. Yet for some reason, it just didn't feel that way to me as a kid. I don't know. I've never figured it out.
They did. Well, I mean, American Idiot came later though.
I'm saying, but that shows that they still were relevant.
Sure.
Like, it's not like they, when I say veteran band, that sounds like that Dookie was their biggest hit and they never did anything, they never touched it or came close since.
I just think though that between Dookie and American Idiot, with the exception, I think, of Nimrod, where you had...
Do you know what year American Idiot was? Just
2004.
That was American Idiot, was it?
That was American Idiot, yeah.
Mustn't have been listening.
I just think they didn't have anything that was as groundbreaking and that really captured people as much. Like, Tell Me Your Life was huge, but huge in the mainstream sense. Whereas for young people like us that were kind of like getting into the genre, I just think there were other bands, like the peak of Blink was that period. And so I think that's why we just naturally gravitated towards them.
I also think that what was really working was the fact that personality-based marketing was doing really well. And the reason a lot of people connected with bands like Blink-182 and Sum 41 was because those people in the band made themselves very present, and you knew not them as rock stars on stage, but as people that were funny and half comedy, and you wanted to see their behind the scenes footage and you wanted to get to know them better. Like even Sum 41, when they released All Killer No Filler, had the documentary on the side of that. Do you remember when they wild that they did this? And you could, I mean, that isn't it? When I was younger, I was like, that's hilarious. And now I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe they did that. Where they put stockings over their face and got the water guns and went and robbed that pizza place. That's crazy. Anyway, so, but that's the thing. You knew the four members of the band and how funny they were and like what they did. And that's what made you want to follow them and support them. I don't feel like maybe Green Day were as accessible through those channels. Maybe, I don't know, because I know them all and I know who all three of them are iconic in the genre, but I didn't feel a connection to them as people as I did with other bands. And maybe that was it. I was looking for more than music at that point.
Yeah. But I think, I mean, for us now, it's hard to not appreciate how significant this album is when you look at...
yes.
And
you did say that you wanted to, sorry to interrupt, but you said to me that you wanted to see how my opinions changed.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you it has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yes.
Because certainly when I was listening back to this album this time, I was like, I just don't understand how Jay couldn't like this.
Yeah. It's not that I didn't like it. I just expected to come out of it being like, it's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to me, I know that sounds like it's a negative thing, but it's because with the book club, I want to listen to stuff that I'm blown away by. Yeah. And I thought if we do an album where I come out of it feeling like, I listened to it a few times and all I could come to was that it's fine, I feel like that's a negative for me.
Yeah,
sure. So that's why it seems like I may not like them if by saying, Green Day, great, we have to do Dookie. But now after listening to it, I completely came round on it. But you would think that, because the songs are good. Yeah, the songs are good. I already knew the songs were good. I knew a bunch of these songs before I listened to the album. And also you think, well, is it, like what it meant to the genre or something like that? And I guess, Lessa, do you have any other guesses?
Oh, well, I'm going to say, based on what you said now, it's probably the lyrics.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't hear them at all until they're mixed so low in the recording that I'd never really connected with them or heard anything that he was really talking about. And then reading through them, I went, oh my goodness, the themes on this album, one after the other, are just nobody's writing about this kind of stuff. And it's like a snapshot of a movie of this, no wonder it has done as well as it has done, because it's such an important album, because it's not a collection of songs. It's a legit snapshot into a specific lifestyle, into a specific scene, into a specific mentality of a person who's writing for a punk band. Yeah. It's not just... even the love songs have a weird twist to them.
Yes.
And I was like, this is so well done. And I have never seen Green Day in that light, because all I really knew about them was a couple of songs off this that I didn't really know what they were about until I kind of went through the guide and that we created and reading the lyrics and the information we found online about those songs. But all I knew was songs like Warning, American Idiot. And I know that's very politically driven. And I'm like, they're catchy, they're good, but I didn't think there was much substance or depth, and how wrong I was.
Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I brought something with me here that I thought you could check out. So I bought this for Christmas a couple of years ago. It's the Rolling Stone 500 Greatest Albums of All Time. And I can tell listeners that maybe it would be cool. I'll do a little side podcast. But I've been working through these over the years whenever I feel like doing it, and listening to a new album every time and doing our rating system on it to find out how they kind of fit in, and just listening to albums that I've never heard before. And the theme that I've noticed is that the stuff that they put in this book, it's not 500 to 1 and 1 being the best. It's just the 500 greatest albums. They're out of order. But what's amazing and what I've found is really good about it. And obviously, you can tell the ones they like better because they have a 2-page spread versus some of them just get lumped onto the same page and little write-up about them.
Yeah.
But they're albums that were important for a specific reason, whether that be political or for the genre or for a snapshot. It was like it's an art piece in a way, rather than albums that you go, wow, they had some really catchy songs on it. It seems that the catchiness of the songs comes second to how important the album was for the time period and what the artist did. It's albums that pushed the boundaries.
Yeah.
A lot of the albums that I love from Pop-Punk Book Club and like our kind of like genres that we listen to aren't in here. But Dookie is. I think it was like 370 or something.
375?
How'd you know that?
I think I remember reading it when we were doing like the prep for the album.
You're right. It's 375.
There you go.
Jeez. But yeah, so it's been listed in the top 500 greatest albums. And admittedly, there isn't a lot of a write-up here. Like I just brought it to say, look how cool this is that it's in here.
Yeah.
And for Dookie to be in here and so many other albums that I love not be in here, I'm like, oh yeah. You know, there are so many albums from so many great bands in the genre that is really, really good, but they're not as important as this album is.
Yeah.
And I looked upon it with a new respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I guess if you think about when it comes out, like grunge had been the dominant subgenre of like alternative music for at least a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then this is sort of thematically deals with concepts that are similar, like boredom and apathy and stuff like that. But this is fun.
Yeah.
It's fast. It's catchy. You can sing along to it. You can dance to it. Like you can totally see how this would capture the young people of that time who have like they're listening to grunge and then this comes out. It would be just like mind blowing.
Yeah, and we talked about it on Pennybridge Pioneers. We talked about it during Material Boy, where we're talking about the idea of like kind of sadder lyrics, but with happy music, how it adds to a sense of sarcasm.
Yes.
That's the way I hear this. And I think you're right about the fact that maybe it really resonated with 90s teens because having such happy, vibrant, upbeat music with the lyrics being so dark and heavy and also like not just, it's really weird because emo music came later and that became more like depressing and kind of just like giving up. But this is kind of like, I never cared in the first place, but this is all the stuff I have to deal with. And it kind of gives, you have good reason to want to not care because this stuff is not just, oh, you know, I fell over today and scraped my knee and now my life's over, which is, you know, where some of the music felt like it got to later. But with this, it's like, oh, you are going through a lot of stuff and that is kind of crazy. But 90s teens would have loved that because it was the peak of like the sarcastic kind of don't care kind of apathetic teen. And that's probably why they connected with this.
Yeah.
It was their first major label release.
Yes.
Right. So they did a couple albums and this is their first like big release.
But did you see though that Jerry Finn was involved in this album as well?
Yes, absolutely. And that's the boy.
The boy. There he is. Yeah.
Of course he is. Because I mean, it's just, did you see exactly, see what he did?
So what I read was that they wanted the sound initially to be really dry, like early Sex Pistols albums.
Oh, okay.
And then when they listened back to the initial mix of that, they were like, they didn't love it.
Yeah.
And I what I read was that was when Joe Finn got involved. So he was involved at the mixing stage.
Bring him in. Bring in the big guns.
Bring in the boss.
Yeah, bring him in.
Mind you, he would have been...
He wouldn't have
pretty
worked
early.
on a lot of the...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Early-ish in his career.
Yeah.
That's the point at which I think he got involved as opposed to the more production side of things.
Yeah. And it was recorded over 3 weeks from start to finish. And apparently Billy Joe Armstrong recorded most of his vocals in 2 days.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy, which is also really good because the vocal sound is so consistent because it's from the same time. It's not like over time and it jumps all over the place. So it does sound really consistent. But the fact is that they had the songs, by the sounds of it, they didn't write it in 3 weeks. They had the material.
I think that's right.
Yeah, came to the studio and recorded it in a 3-week period.
Yeah. Did you see that? They had...
such a contrast from when we did the Untitled Blink album and it was like 3 years or something like that.
They had Good Riddance recorded as part of the sessions for this.
That was, I actually genuinely was like, is that a mistake that we've put in the guide? Like that's Nimrod, that's not on this album. And they had Time of Your Life.
Imagine if they put that on here as well.
It doesn't feel like it'd fit. It feels so in line with Nimrod time.
Yeah.
And but the fact that it was written at this point goes to show that it's from the same creative vision or like generation, I guess. Yeah.
Though I wonder how much it changed. Like presumably they re-recorded it for Nimrod.
Yeah, good point.
Like I reckon perhaps an edgier song.
Maybe. What if it was like an actual full band song?
Yeah.
And maybe.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. That song would work really well for that.
In terms of the production though, I'm really interested to hear what you think about it. Because so for me, one of the first things I noticed is like it's so raw, but also like polished in the sense that you can tell they've worked on getting their sounds right. And like it's got a really like like quite a thick sound to it.
But I'm going to use a word here that I feel like could come off negatively, and I don't mean it that way, but it sounds muddy, but in a good way.
Yeah,
Usually
okay.
muddy is a negative term for mixes. It's like too much boxy frequencies, and a bit lower than that, you got the mud in the recording and you can remove that and you clear it up. But it just sounds grimy, like in a way, in a good way, like in an intentional way. Yeah. Talking about like thematic consistencies between our shows. Remember when I showed you the Paradox a couple of episodes ago?
Yeah.
Did forget to name them. Have you seen the video of the guitarist from the Paradox talking about when they got to open for Green Day?
No.
Okay, let me try to find it and I'll show it to you.
Yeah. They opened for Green Day.
Yes. And it is genuinely one of the coolest stories for like multiple reasons.
We opened for Green Day. How that even happened, we uploaded a cover of Basket Case. Go figure, Billy Joe reposted it.
Fire.
Then like the next day, he like comments on something, it was cool. Then the next day, he follows my personal account and the Paradox account. So I was like, bro, I gotta talk to him. I just like asked him like, yo, can you show me how to play like that ending riff on Basket Case? And like I have like a video like on my phone of him just like, yeah, man, like this is how you play it right here. It's just in standard. Like it was insane. So like I was working at a vape shop at the time. One of my customers comes in, it's like, yo, like Green Day's coming into town. Like that's crazy. I know the lead singer of that band. So I hit him up and I'm like, hey Billy, we're poor. Can we get like tickets to see you? Like it could be the cheapest tickets. And he was like, yeah, like I'll see what I can do. Like an hour later, he's like, so how would you guys like to open the show?
Oh my.
And we were like, yeah. So I was like, yeah. And finally we show up, we do it. We met up with him, hung out with him for a bit, and shout out to Linda's because they let us use their gear.
Isn't that so cool?
Yeah. That's the sort of story that makes you like Billy Joe even more.
Exactly. But also what a dream for like a young band.
Oh.
Like when you meet someone, you do something, it shows the power of social media, but you do a great cover and the dude from the band who wrote the song is like a fan of it. The best part to me is like, I was working in a vape shop and a guy came in and said, Green Day's coming to town. I was like, that sounds like something straight out of a teen movie. Like working in some shop. Like, did you hear the news or whatever? It's like,
But the fact that he's like, oh yeah, I know the singer from
I know
that
the
band.
singer from that band. Yeah. We've talked about this in, as we said about Motion City Soundtrack when I met them, that a lot of bands wouldn't have given me that chance. Like so many bands wouldn't have done that. And it's
No
like,
way.
that just makes
Particularly bands of the size of Green Day.
Yeah. So again, that to me was just like, because that came up in my feed. Like it was perfect. You know what I mean? As we're doing this album, I'm like, wow, man. It's really cool. And also, for people listening, I've struggled with mental health my entire life, like to the point where it's been pretty debilitating and I've had like significant issues with it. And to read in his lyrics what he's going through and what he's been through, I wasn't aware of that either. And I can really relate to that and see the way that he's kind of interpreting how dark all that gets into his type of metaphor. One of them talking about being a suicide bomber or something like that as an analogy for anxiety. I was like, that is so clever and so well done and creatively brilliant that I'm like, okay, I've missed the boat on Green Day. That's me. It's not like I was not right in saying that like Green Day, aren't worth that much of my attention.
But it's like, it's really emotionally complex, but it doesn't ever seem like sappy
No,
or
not at all.
like or corny
Or like feel sorry for me or something like that. At no point do you feel like that it's pandering to get people who are going through stuff to connect with him. It's so authentic and honest, but it's inspired.
Yeah. Did you read though that and I think this is actually quite sad, that this album was like super divisive in terms of the fan base.
Really?
Or perhaps not so much this album as them signing to a major label.
Yeah.
So they had like
Because it was such a protected underground genre. Yeah.
And so they had like this connection with a venue called 924 Gilman Street in like
Okay.
I think it's in Oakland or somewhere in that area. Which it sounds like that's like a music venue, but also a place where bands were hanging out and that sort of thing.
Yeah, sure.
And it was all
like
about
the
like
scene.
The scene.
Yeah,
it was all about the local independent scene for like punk rock. And it sounds as though that's where they kind of got their start. And they were totally alienated from it after they signed to a major label. And like they weren't allowed to go back. And
What, because you think you're too good for us or something
I
like
think
that.
I think just because this idea that like, you're selling out.
Yeah.
Which is just, it's sad when you look at what an achievement this album is.
Yeah.
And like it's clear they weren't trying to, write something that was going to make them into some really commercially successful album. Like they were just
I think people didn't trust record labels to think that like anything that record labels touched would turn into like overly produced like pop kind of garbage plastic crap, because that's what was on the radio a lot. But you have to give it to record labels, which a lot of people don't, but producers and that kind of stuff. They released a lot of albums that were very, very good and obviously very commercially successful to show that it did well, but stood the test of time. Yet, yeah, there were a lot of bands that were one-hit wonders and came out with one song that if you listen to the rest of the album, that because I like doing that back in about a year or two ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago now, I'd go and find the full albums of bands that I love their one-hit wonders from the 90s and hear what their actual creative vision was. So many times, the single that I know them for sounds nothing like the rest of the album. It's almost like the producer was like, that's the song that's going to be a hit. Let's funnel all of the money into that, into producing a banger as the best we can. And the rest of the album, you can do whatever you want for the rest of it and people will buy it just for that, but people will know you for this song. So the album was almost like a one-hit wonder as well. Now, there were some exceptions to that, like the Wheatus album with Teenage Dirtbag. That's a really good album.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's really cool. But a lot of other times there were songs from bands and artists on their album that you're like, they sound nothing like this. But I think that a lot of people thought that if you got signed to a label, that's what you're doing. You're picking money over like creative authenticity. But in a lot of cases, the labels gave music artists, and admittedly, you can get into all the finances and the ethics of like them being taken advantage of. That's a whole nother story. But for the most part, as far as like what the creative work that they actually came out at the end of the process with, it was a very accurate representation in a very good studio to bring out this creative vision to the best of its ability. And that's what it can happen in like cases like this. So selling out isn't always inherently bad.
Cool.
So Burnout.
Yes.
What'd you give it?
I said great.
Yeah, same. I said great as well.
Yeah.
But do you know what? At first I was like, it's so great that should it be a crown? I'm like, no, it's just so great.
Yeah.
It's just a perfect, great song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great introduction to the album as well.
Absolutely.
Like
we've heard some really solid opening tracks on the albums
for
I've
sure.
been listening to so far. Like it's, I don't know, these are all like, because we always talk about the joke of like, not joke, but like the theoretical speculation kind of idea of like the thought exercise of, oh, what would you, if we had a draft, what would you pick the 5, like an EP of the best opening songs of all time? And every time that's what I think when I hear an opener, it's like, oh, add this one to the draft. You know what I mean? Like it's so good.
Yeah. It just like sets the identity of the album so well.
Yeah.
Like thematically and musically.
Yeah.
Like it's a song about just being bored.
Yes.
And which is a theme that they come back to over and over again throughout the album. But then also musically as well. Like just, I love the efficiency of this song. Like
it's so punchy.
Yeah.
It's
but also it's like we're straight into the vocals.
Yeah.
The whole song is about 2 minutes long.
Yes.
There's no wasted second in that song.
That gives you a little bit of a turn on, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it does.
It's an
It
erogenous
tickles me in
zone.
the right spot.
Yeah, it's because you love the efficiency. You don't like bands wasting time.
Speaking of which, I didn't actually look how long this album is, but it would be
It says at the start. I can go back to that. It says it is a 39 minutes 35.
39, yeah, interesting.
Not your half hour power that you love.
Not
but,
quite, no.
Yeah, but it's really good.
They do keep, like for the most part, the songs themselves are short.
They do keep the songs. There we go. Good pun. To give you an example of what I thought, as I said, the vocals are mixed really low in this album, so I didn't really hear what he was saying. But I thought he said...
Do you mean like previously or like on this listen?
What do you mean?
Well, when you say you didn't... Are you saying like previously when you've listened to these songs, you didn't pick up on the vocals as much?
Yeah.
Are you saying when you were listening on this occasion?
No. I didn't hear until I looked at the lyrics.
Yeah,
I just think the vocals are objectively mixed low, so I didn't really fully hear. I know
Yeah.
the lyrics to songs like Basket Case and When I Come Around and songs like that, but I never really knew what they're about, and seeing what they're about added more depth to those songs as well. Yeah, so for me, I just didn't really like, I just didn't really hear him or understand what he was saying.
Yeah.
An example of that is I thought the opening line to this song was, I drink when I don't care no more. And I was like, oh, it's just one of those like, I drink, I party kind of like those types of songs. And then seeing that the word is, I declare I don't care no more.
Yeah.
I was like, what a sick opening line to set the tone of the entire album. It's like, you know when you like, if you get into a fight with someone or an argument or something like that, and then people go, I got nothing to say. And then they proceed to talk for half an hour. It's like that. It's like, I declare that I don't care anymore. And then he goes on. Some of the songs are very short. They have, he also does a lot with the very little lyrics as well.
He does.
Yeah. But still, he has so much to say about what's going on, but he's just given up. And the album is just into his mind about him giving up on everything. And that might be one of my favorite opening lines I've ever seen on any album ever.
Yeah.
It's like, I declare that I don't care no more. For the album in the genre in the 90s at the time with who it's speaking to.
Yeah.
Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Totally agree.
I said banging opener. Great way to start the tone of the album. I love the snare roll at the start. The da-da-da-da-da-da. It's not, because it could so easily be da-da-da-da-da-da-da, but it's like the da-da-da-da-da-da, which adds to that jerky, punchy kind of sound of the rest of the album. Trey Cool is very renowned as like a really good drummer. Like
Yes.
in that kind of thing, in that world, in like the drumming world. And being, I can play drums as well. I've loved being in as part of music and following the scenes and stuff. So his name gets mentioned quite a bit, but I've never really heard enough of him to fully appreciate what he's capable of. But he has such a good Ringo Starr-esque kind of way of like playing exactly what the song needs, but still injecting that little bit of character in. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
So that was a huge eye opener for me too, as well.
He's got a unique style as well. Like it's like his drumming style. I feel like you hear it and like that's Trey Cool.
Yeah,
you know
true.
what I mean?
Yeah. It's I don't know how to explain it.
It's interesting you said Ringo Starr because it does feel like he's got a bit of an older style, like almost rock and roll type.
There's a video that went around ages ago of it's black and white and it has a whole bunch of drummers in it. It's Dave Grohl, Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers, Trey Cool, and it's all these drummers talking about the genius of Ringo Starr.
Yeah.
And Trey Cool's in that as well. So he obviously is a big fan of Ringo Starr as well. But that's one of the notes they say about Ringo Starr is the fact that people say he wasn't that good of a drummer, but they're like, most drummers would never have come up with what Ringo Starr came up with.
Yeah,
and it was always perfect for what the song needed.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of stuff is really cool. Look at my notes here, right? So this is where I give my rating at the top. I put 3 question marks pointing to a crown because it was that close to being like, have I just not sat with this song long enough?
Well, I've got in my notes very close to a crown. Like and I think on my first listen through, I was like, I'm pretty sure this is a crown. And then I came back later on. And I think the thing for me that keeps it as a great rather than a crown is for me, the chorus doesn't quite elevate it in the way that I usually look a chorus to do in a crown song.
Yeah.
And I think it's maybe that the chorus doesn't sort of distinguish itself from the verse as much in this song as it does in some of their other songs.
Yeah.
I really like the second chorus for that reason because they do those cuts before.
Oh, yep. With the shots.
The shot, yeah.
Yeah.
Which kind of like, that kind of like springboards you into the chorus in a really cool way.
Absolutely. I think that what's really great about this song is, I mean, in the way that I ended up settling with the great for it as well, is because one, I had to realize great is not a failure. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like, just because it's not a crown doesn't mean that I can sit back and go, oh, well, this song like sucks. You know what I mean? Like it's great.
Yeah.
Like it's a great chorus and it explains it perfectly. But it was quite easy for me because there are other songs that on this album that I've rated as crowns.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it's at that level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I immediately saw it was like just a bit under that. So therefore it's perfectly great.
Yeah.
I said, kid, great to read the lyrics because they're mixed low and I never know exactly what he's saying. I wonder if that was, I mean, I'm answering my question now, kind of thinking about it, but I wonder if I wonder if they came into this knowing exactly who they were speaking to or if a label, and that's more likely the case because it seems like they went in 3 weeks, smashed everything out. The songs were kind of already written.
Yeah.
But I wonder if the label saw the marketing opportunity of getting into the right people, but
Yeah.
they were already speaking exactly the language that 90s teenagers needed to hear for them to just lap this album straight up and be like, this is exactly how we feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he was writing it deliberately for a particular audience?
No, I don't think so. I think that he's written it for himself and because it's so authentic and it's so, it's not broad kind of like, oh, we all like this. It's like, this is my very specific interpretation of my mental health and my experiences. And I wonder if anyone else can kind of like, me too, from the outside. Me too, Billy. I feel the same way.
He has a really good way of writing lyrics in a general enough way that people can bring their own, I guess, baggage or experience so they can relate. But it's like there's enough substance to it that it's not just it's not bland. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's also enough for you to be able to trust that he's the right person to speak about these issues. If you just come in saying, oh, doesn't it all suck to kind of go through this? They'd be like, yeah, but I know, we know it sucks, but like, how are you one of us sort of thing? But for him to go, here's my experience and doesn't it suck? They'd be like, oh, wow, yeah, you know what you're talking about. We can trust that. But yeah, just genuinely impressive lyrics. It makes me like the song way more. Interestingly enough, so I rated this a great even before I saw the lyrics, but the lyrics just that's why I thought that maybe if it elevated it, it would elevate it to a crown. But it's so perfectly great that I think it's perfect there. But one of my favorite parts ever is in the bridge, the dan 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 dan, and then just the crazy drumming, the dan 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 dan. That's kind of thematic of what you hear come out later in like the later songs where they have the stabby guitars and then just lots of drum fills and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that was really cool to hear in the intro as well. Really cool breaks with the chord stabs and the fills.
Yeah, love the bridge. I hear a lot of early Sum 41 in that bridge.
Good point. I haven't actually put that together, but it does sound like Half Hour of Power kind of Sum 41.
They do a lot of similar type stuff. Having a blast.
Yep.
You having a blast?
I am. I'm very much enjoying this. I'm
Good.
one song in.
Do you
I
need
gave
any
this.
cake? They're going to have more of a blast if you have some cake.
Well, I'm lactose intolerant, so there'll be blast coming out somewhere it shouldn't be coming out if I ate that cake. I would be literally having a blast later. I gave this one a great.
I said great too.
Yeah, two great songs.
Yeah.
And that's really, really cool.
Yep.
Do you feel that though, that sometimes it feels like if you don't give it a crown, it feels like almost at your first thought that the song isn't good enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
but
I must admit, when I looked at
still
these,
great.
yeah, when I looked at those ratings afterwards, I was like, oh, I feel like I've undershot this somehow.
Yeah.
But no, I do genuinely think it is a great. Like,
yeah. But that's the thing. It's great. Like, you know what I mean? And these songs are great. But it's like, there's songs in the past that I've said are flame songs that are probably more accurately, if I didn't connect with them as much, great songs.
Yeah.
So great songs can still be very emotionally impactful. Like they can be one little step away from being a flame as well.
So I think, if you think like, in terms of the music that's obviously influenced Green Day, like 70s punk feels like a big one.
Ramones kind of, yep.
And I feel like you hear this
Sex
with
Pistols.
the intro chords in this song. Like,
Yes.
I can hear that style for sure.
Yeah.
But also Mike Dirnt's bass lines
Yeah.
are unique.
Yes.
Like they're just so cool.
Do you know what's really funny is my cousin, who very much wasn't into pop punk and used to rib me for liking it. He found out one day when we were at youth playing, because he used to play bass in the youth band.
Yeah.
He found out one day, he's like, is the bass player from Green Day actually called Mike Dirnt? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, so like Mike Dirnt, like on the bass, Dirnt. And I was like, that's hilarious. So that's what used to rub into me all the time was Mike Dirnt.
That's literally where it comes from.
Really?
Yeah,
That's not his name?
No.
I sound like an idiot now.
So
What's
I'm
his
pretty
name?
sure, I don't know what his name is,
looking
but
this
he
up.
got the name because he was the kid in school playing bass who would go around like playing, like airplaying bass and like making the dun dun like
really?
the sound. And so they started, that's how he got the name.
His name's Michael Ryan Pritchard. Wow. So,
But look, I'm pretty sure that's right. Like he got the name Dirnt from the,
right.
he was making that sound when he was like pretending to play bass.
Exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
His stage name was Dirnt. Originally, was a nickname that his friends from grade school gave him, as he constantly played air bass / guitar and made a Dirnt 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 noise while he pretending to pluck the strings.
Yeah. Isn't that so funny though? So someone, it sounded like I just said some kind. Someone's come up to you and they're laughing and joking about the fact that the bass player from Green Day's name sounds like he's going dun dun, and you're like, what a fucking idiot. Or like, what did you say?
I was like,
what have I missed? Or
like, have I missed that?
Yeah.
I just assumed that was his name. I thought it was just a happy
it's
coincidence.
actually true. This guy's like, yeah.
Well, do you know, there's actual psychology behind this. It's like, I sound like an idiot on this podcast, but I study this stuff all the time. And there's actually scientific kind of psychology behind. You know, people say things like people look like their pets. And they go, if you get an animal, you start to look like it over time. Yeah. Incorrect. You actually gravitate more toward animals that look like you. The more based off, supposedly, this is the theory, the more you look at yourself in the mirror because you become more comfortable with your own reflection. And because of that, you see in animals, you naturally gravitate toward the ones that are closer toward looking like you, right?
Yeah.
So a similar thing is also that there is scientific theory behind that people who have last names that sound similar to an occupation end up following that occupation. I read a book one time that referenced, have you watched The Office, the US Office? You know where Dwight lies about going to the dentist, but he actually meets up with Jan and tries to like stage a coup on Michael essentially.
Yeah.
And he says he went to a dentist that was far. His name's Crentist, the dentist.
Right.
Well, he's saying that even though that's a joke, if your last name was Crentist, you actually may be more likely to become a dentist. So I figured it was something like that. His name's Mike Dirnt. It just is a happy coincidence that he ends up being a bass player. But no, you know, the simplest solution is that I'm not thinking about the deeper psychology. I'm just an idiot. I said with this song, the idea of this is the song that I was saying that he talks about considering anxiety like you being a suicide bomber. Like, what? If you had said that sentence to me, I would have been like, that is so wild to like make that, draw that comparison. So I said, I love the metaphor, but also how incredible the literal theme is. I haven't really seen anyone do this before and kind of like ever since. He could have gone so shocking with these lyrics, but it's just clever. Yeah. You know?
It's such an effective metaphor. And like I like the title as well, having a blast.
Yeah. Which is the irony of like it's fun, but also like, you know, but it's just it's really interesting that this happened like pre 9/11. Like I don't know if this would have been written if it came out too soon after.
Pre-Columbine.
Oh, good point. Yeah, right.
I think I remember reading something about that like when it came out, like no one batted an eyelid at the idea of writing a song about the idea that you can blow yourself up.
Yeah.
And then I think after Columbine, maybe people thought differently about it. But I mean, it's a metaphor and it works really effectively as
probably led to a lot of parents being like, I'm not letting my kids listen to that Green Day band.
Yeah.
But I just think it's for it to be the metaphor that it is. And to be honest, I may not have picked that up without actually knowing that that was the case.
Yeah.
Which doesn't, that is more of a testament toward my interpretation rather than like Billy Joe's ability to communicate that idea. But the fact that he's come out and said that that's what it means, it's like, whoa, that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Because songs can be interpreted in different ways.
Yeah,
But
sure.
for it to be like, this is what I meant by that, it's like, who thinks of things like that?
Yeah.
You know who? Someone who's been through it. And that's how it felt to them.
Yeah.
So very, very cool. But also, it also ties back into the I don't care anymore kind of thing. But it also could have gone down the alley of like depression but like, no, more like depressing lyrics or something like that. I'm like, woe is me, my life's over. It's not like that.
No,
it's just like,
again, he doesn't.
this, like Joker from the Batman. This is all fun and games, having a blast, you know what I mean? That type of thing.
The chorus melody is stunning.
Yes.
And the chords in particular in the chorus, I think have less of a punk feel. And I hear Jimmy 8 World.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, it's like you can hear how, obviously a lot of bands have been influenced by Green Day, but you can kind of hear how bands that are not straight up punk bands have been influenced by them as well.
Yes.
There's definitely in that chorus. I hear I hear Jimmy 8 World so clearly.
That's a good point. Again, you picked two really good like similarities with the last two songs, like with Sum 41 and Jimmy Eat World. I can hear that 100%. That's really
all right. Chump, what'd you give it?
I gave this one a good.
So did I.
Yeah. Oh wow,
this is interesting.
3 from 3.
We are. Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if there'll ever be a day where we go just perfectly.
I reckon
aligned.
there will be.
Yeah.
Won't surprise me.
You know what will be interesting though? I think in that circumstance or in that situation, it'll have to be an album where we don't get any flames, because I think the flames are the wild cards. They just
That's
come out
true,
of nowhere.
Actually.
Yeah. But I thought this was a good song. The reason that I thought it was a good song, and I was like, what? When I first heard it, I was like, this song could have been great, potentially even a crown. But halfway through, it just becomes a big intro for Longview.
Yes.
And I'm like, it has such a great sounding like first half. If they put that into a full song, who knows what I would have rated it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I really like the way they did it.
Yeah.
Like, I just think it kind of keeps you guessing. Like, it transitions, as you say, into this interlude, and you're just like, where are we going? And then all of a sudden...
so that's an interlude, is it? No, this is the record state.
I was just like, do we need to get Kurt involved in this conversation? Kurt, are you listening?
Why would you be calling him in?
Yeah, I know.
He's my Hulk.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it is...
I hope so. What if he changes sides one day?
No, but I like that, because when you're listening to it, you're thinking to yourself, like, where are we going? And then all of a sudden, we're just setting up for the next song.
Yeah.
Really effectively, I think. I like it.
Yeah, but I feel like it pulled the rug a little bit. Like, the first half of the song is so good that I just was ready for it to go again, and it didn't. And it's like, oh, you're right. Where is it going? Oh, it's like a mid-song bridge, and I expected to go and back in. It's like, no, we're slowing down now, getting to Longview. It's like, you had my full attention, and like I have to keep restarting the song to get to the part I want to hear.
When you know Longview though, and Longview comes in, you're like, oh God, that's so cool. Like,
this is not going to be the album that we have matching ratings on. I can tell you right now after you saying that.
Wow.
To me, do you feel that this song feels like Built This Pool by Blink-182?
100%.
Yeah, exact same style chord progression at the start. Oh my goodness, man. I was like, when I heard that, I was like, that sounds so much like Built This Pool, which is
so much so that earlier today I listened, I'm sure that's Built This Pool.
Yeah.
And so I went back and listened to it. I was like, yeah, that's the same chords.
Is it? That's so funny.
Yeah.
But like, Built This Pool is one of my favorite Blink-182 joke songs. What do you think the best Blink-182 joke song is?
Family Reunion is
good.
First ballot
Good
Hall
point.
of Famer as far as Blink joke songs go. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good point. Apparently that was from a comedian who said that's the list of words you can't say on TV, and then Mark added
It's
couple
Richard
more.
Pryor, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that Built This Pool would be up there, but I don't think it's my favorite. My favorite's definitely Happy Holidays, You Bastard.
That would be number 2 for me.
Yeah. I love
How can
that
you go
song
past
so much.
Family Reunion though?
Do you know what? I didn't even remember it. Because
What do you mean you didn't remember it?
Well, I was thinking about songs off CDs. So I was thinking, what are the songs off? They've got the Christmas song, Won't Be Home for Christmas. They've got Fuck a Dog. They've got When You F***ed Grandpa. What is wrong with that band, dude?
Yeah, I know.
And then you go,
The Dog is wild. When you step back and you go, how did they get away with that? I mean, Family Reunion's not on one of their albums, but like it's on Mark Tom Travis show, and it's like in every live show. They opened with it for quite a while.
Which is so funny. When my dad took us to see Blink-182 and they played this live, and it's just like, oh, am I going to hear about this the whole car ride home? But in Chump, I was going to say that the lyrics are genuinely awesome. I just keep coming back to the lyrics, but every song I was just like, whoa, this is really good. This is kind of like a love song. And I think if you gave this premise to a whole bunch of well-known and very good emo, post-pop-punk kind of emo bands, the lyrics might have come from more of a place of like patheticness of like, oh, I'm just not good enough. Was I not enough for you? Like that kind of stuff. But this is like, I don't know you, but I think I hate you. Like from the beginning. And then he goes through the whole thing and he's like, I don't know. Yeah, you still got one over me. Maybe I'm just dumb. Like he just, by the end of it, comes round on himself.
Isn't it kind of like he kind of comes around to the point of like, I'm the idiot for like letting this bother me sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a mature kind of, but I'm still angry about it. I'm going to let the emotions out, but it is my problem.
Who's the real chump sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Good point.
It's he's so clever.
Yeah, it's just such a clever lyric thing. And I just you can hear how excited I am about this. Like I thought I'd be sitting here going, oh, I'm sorry, man. I just didn't really get into it like you did. But I'm like, whoa, it's really caught my attention. It's super bitter and emo-ish. But the fact that he blames himself in the end makes it not so, it seems like
but not
closing
not
of that
blaming
chapter.
himself in that kind of like self-loathing emo sort of
exactly.
way.
Yeah, it becomes like
I'm an idiot.
I'm an idiot, so I need to move on from this.
Yeah.
And we need to just get on with it.
Yeah.
I'll just play it just for the sound. Oh, we didn't even listen to this one. I want to see some naked dudes. That's why I built this pool. Alrighty, so Longview.
Yes.
I will say now.
Yep.
You know the scene in Fast and the Furious where Paul Walker and Vin Diesel just go separate directions? It's been a long day. This is where we devolve. I'm sure that our what's the word where we like deviate from one another, move on.
Interesting.
What'd you give it?
Crown.
Good for me.
Good.
Dude, I do not like this song that much.
I thought about a flame.
That's the loudest you've yelled at me so far. What's that? It's the loudest you've yelled at me all this episode.
I've got room to go further, depending on where you go with some of these ratings, man.
Yeah.
I thought about a flame, but I don't think I have the same emotional connection to the song as I do for a flame song.
This is part of the reason why I think I didn't. But I thought I wouldn't like the album because I knew this song was on it and I don't particularly love it.
Interesting.
I think it's good. And the only reason it's good is because
only
the
reason.
chorus,
There's one reason.
for me personally, of course, this is all subjective.
Yeah.
It pulls it 2 ratings. Like I would have given this a bad if it wasn't for the chorus and the bridge as well. I like the bridge, I think. But the chorus is really, really good. And I like that.
Yeah.
So it brings me up. I don't know what it is. I don't like the feel of the bass, the jazzy kind of like, triplet kind of thing. And so many bass players over the years played this to death, this riff over and over again. And I just was like, when I hear it, it just sounds so boring to me. And it saps energy from me when I hear that bass line. I don't know why,
That's
apart from that, but just it's so slow and with a really dull feel in my mind. And I'm like, I don't like that riff. And I know it was their first single off this thing, like signed to a major label, first single comes out. And I'm like, it doesn't hit it for me. Again, it's all subjective.
Yeah.
But personally, it doesn't hit for me.
For me, I feel energized by it for some reason. That like the swinging drums and that bass line, it just
comes off as, those songs where they're like the emo bands that were like dance to this song and it was like the weird kind of like upbeat.
Please. You're equating that to this?
I think personally it's so outside the genre that it feels like a cheesy jazz kind of like, oh, let's do a weird like jazzy bass line that everyone's going to like, I don't know. It just, to me, it just feels corny as, and it just saps energy from me. Yeah. It's probably my wildest take so far, but I don't really like that.
I love the story about how Mike came up with the bass
Makes
line.
sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. That's all I'll say. You have to be completely whacked out to write a bass line like that. He's like, I thought he might have forgotten it because he was on drugs. And it's like, maybe you should have. You know what I mean? If it was up to me. Imagine if I produced this album. The boys scrapped that one. Oh, man. Yeah, I would not have been in my right to do that because this is I know that a lot of people
like
love
a
this.
Family Guy cut, like like that time Green Day almost let you produce their album.
I do think it's a great chorus. I think that and the chorus pulls it, but to me, it's just like I don't know. It's weird because after the chorus and I hear the bass line again, I'm like, it's not that offensive. I'm not like, I hate this song. I hate that bass line. I just, as I said, it pulls energy away from me. It doesn't give me energy.
I just think there's nothing like it in the genre.
I could fart in the mic and it would be nothing like you've heard before. It doesn't mean it's good.
Oh man, this is...
I'm offending a lot of Green Day fans. I'm aware of this.
You're alienating a lot of...
You know what? Jayson of 20 years ago...
This might be what wins Kurt over for me.
Oh, I don't know. We'll have to see. Kurt, if you're out there, you on my side? How good would it be if it was on my side? We'll just see where he sits on this. But yeah, I get it. This is the thing. I mean, I'm self-indulging a little bit about, disagreeing so hard on this. But it's I know that it's a good song. I mean, I know that a lot of people would rate it higher than that, but I do know it's a good song. I know that people really like it. If they played it live and I saw them live, they're like, yeah, it's a good song. I don't like that bass line, but it's a good song. You know what I mean? Like there are other songs where I don't particularly like the riff, and I think it's a good song. I think the chorus is absolutely banging. I think they've done a great job there.
Yeah.
I just don't connect with it like other people do. And I can't, in a system like this where my emotions are literally graded, I can't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't want you to lie.
Yeah. Oh, good. Then I can tell you I gave it a 1. I gave it a terrible, whatever we call that, because thank goodness I never had to do that. Is that a liar reference?
Yeah.
Jim Carrey?
I think the drums and the bass with the vocals over the verse, or in the verse rather, it just fits the theme of the song so well. Like the song is about like you're just spending your day sitting around.
It does
doing
sound
nothing,
very
and it just kind of like has this kind of like
rock kicky. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by that?
No.
Like kicking rocks, just kind of filling in time. Kind of thing. It feels very
directionless
bloody.
For a little while. Do you know what I mean?
Directionless, good point.
Like so,
dude, are you swinging me on Longview? Is that actually because that's a good point? Now I'm hearing it like that. It's like the ballad with Millencolin all over again. Yeah. I'm hearing it in a new light now.
So it's like they've matched it perfectly with what the song's about.
Yeah, and
then I love the contrast between that and then the chorus, which is like this kind of like punchy, like that strumming pattern, like dun 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 dun. Reminds me of Guernica by Brand New, by the way.
That's a good point.
Do you know I love it. Like
I think the chorus is great.
The contrast works perfectly.
I think to me it feels like a bass line that Mike Dirnt brought to the band of like, listen to this cool bass line, and Billy Joe's like, how do I make that work?
But
and then he comes in with the chorus and makes it work.
Yeah.
And does a really good job. But it feels to me like trying to force a square peg into a round hole a little bit.
Yeah,
but now hearing what you're saying about the idea that the whole song feels a bit plotty and a little bit directionless, it does. And I think that you're right about that. I don't know if that makes me like the song more, but at least I don't not like it as much because I can see, oh, that makes sense. Okay, I get it now. Because that was most of my problem was like, I don't know if it makes sense in my eyes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Imagine though, like you decide, I'm going to write a song about doing nothing.
Yeah, it's like the Seinfeld of songs.
Yeah, and you
nothing.
come up with this. Like it's crazy good.
Yeah,
but I love.
That's what I'm saying. It's good. Crazy good.
But I mean, like the lyrics he's come up with.
Yeah,
yeah. But did you see what?
A lot of lyrics.
What Billy Joe
said to the other songs.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What Billy Joe said about this one, I like that he's talking about like a specific time when they'd signed to the label and there was a lot of backlash about them.
Yeah,
like during the period when he's writing this song. And so he's like, feeling like a loser, sitting at home watching TV and stuff.
Talks about masturbation
really cool.
in the song.
It does, yeah.
Imagine writing the word masturbation to sing in a song.
Yeah,
it's really strange.
Come up with another word.
Yeah. Well, when he actually like gives the quote, he says jerking off. Like that sounds a little bit more punk, but masturbation just seems so clinical and like medical almost.
It fits though, like it's the right number of syllables to fit the line.
Yeah, true. I guess sometimes masturbation is your only option. You were right all these years.
Welcome to Paradise.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, yeah. What'd you give this one?
I said great.
What?
What do you mean?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, the tables have flipped on this. Are you serious?
Yeah.
You gave that a great?
What did you give it?
A crown. I flirted with a flame on this one.
Interesting. Okay.
That is one of the best choruses I've heard in like any song ever.
Yeah, cool.
How is it great?
Well, it's a great chorus.
Spotlight's on you now. This is the thing. It's a great chorus. You're not saying that's a crown chorus?
Not for me. Not quite.
How?
Well, I think the song as a whole, I should say, I don't think is quite a crown. Great. Absolutely a great song.
Yeah.
But for me, it doesn't quite push it into that level. Love the energy though. Like it just explodes, this song.
So the angry mob have just turned to you now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? They're just like, who are we mad at with the pitchforks? Like, that guy just
That's
said
good.
that Welcome to
A little
Paradise
bit
is
of
only
misdirection
great.
is good.
Oh man, I'm so surprised by that because
To be frankly honest, I think people are going to be less offended by my take than yours. But anyway.
we'll see. So if listeners, write in. Who do you hate more right now? But that's the thing. Like, I forgot that they wrote this song. And I know, like, I looked up a little bit about Dookie online and stuff like that and what people were saying. I saw someone say they rated all their favorite songs on Reddit. And I was trying to see what other people like or whatever. And one of them...
you copied some people with this. Is that what you're saying? Just to try and win them over?
What do you mean? Oh, yeah. I just did what he... No. Hear me out. That's not what they're saying. They actually rated this lower because they said that it's been overplayed. And because of that, they don't particularly love that song that much. They said,
okay.
I admit that it's probably because it was overplayed or whatever.
Yeah.
But I haven't experienced that of this song being overplayed. So to me, this song's kind of new. There's a really, 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 really good video that's on YouTube that I recommend everybody go look up. And I'd love to watch it with you, but I'd do it outside of the podcast because we can't do copyright stuff on here. Yeah. But I'd love to watch it with you and just get a reaction clip of you watching it. It's a video of, well, not now that you only rated it great, but it's a YouTube channel called Drumble, I'm pretty sure. And it's two gospel musicians that come in and learn Welcome to Paradise, but have not heard the song before. And they hear like a drumless version.
Drumeo?
It's like Drumeo, but it's another channel called Drumble. And these dudes are like full incredible. It's a bass player and a drummer. And the drummer is just full gospel chops. It's like drumming like you've never heard before of that type of, performance and recording and that kind of stuff. But the way that they do it, it's like I forgot that this was a Green Day song. And I watched that video a couple months ago and I went, oh my goodness, they brought that song to life. And then when I saw it was on this album, I was like, can't wait to listen to it again.
Yeah, right.
And I just the way that the chord progression in the chorus is insane. It's like Taking Back Sunday-esque of like Louder Now kind of era, like Fred Mascherino style chord progression. But the way that the vocals just slowly move downward, like decline, descend. Yeah, that's the right word. Downward toward like the chords as the chords move, and the way it flows. The only thing that didn't make this a flame for me was that the lyrics I didn't connect with as hard. I like what he's done. Really? It's like being on the streets of Gotham City. It feels like that. But I didn't. For it to be a flame, I would have to deeply connect with the lyrics and the emotions behind it. And to me, it was more of like a showcase lyrics of like, this is where I am, this is where I live, not something deep that I could connect with really emotionally. But the verses are just sick. The chorus is sick. Everything's sick. I'm so surprised that you're giving that a grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
The those like the harmony and like the vocals in that chorus, it's pretty awesome.
It's epic. Like it's genuinely epic. I'm so surprised by that. Genuinely, that has surprised me.
The bridge is so interesting as well. Like almost like a little bit disorientating.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of like Rock Lobster.
What a shout. That's really, really good. What a reference.
It's just kind of like disorientating. It's kind of the best description. But
like
then,
being lost on the streets of, Welcome to Paradise. Yeah.
But then the way they build back up to the chorus and then explode like back into the chorus again is super effective. It's a great song.
Sure. And that's the thing. Great doesn't necessarily bring it lower. But to me, this song is not on the same level as Burnout and Having a Blast.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
This is a level up above this.
That's probably fair. It is a better song than those for sure. But I mean,
but you still think it's within the great category.
I think so.
Okay, right. Because to me, this is so good. This has just got that banger energy to it.
It's interesting when you mention the lyrics because that's actually one of my favorite parts of the song.
Yeah.
So it's like super personal song because it's written about when he moves out of home for the first time, living in. I think he was grew up in the suburbs. He's now living in like an apartment, like warehouse apartment in the city where it's
and how like engulfing that would feel. He says that he's scared and feels alone, and
it's obviously a pretty sketchy neighborhood. And then. It's kind of like the Welcome to Paradise line kind of starts out kind of like, it's almost ironic, but then it's almost like by the end of the song, he's saying, I actually quite like this. This is actually home. Like,
that's
again,
good.
It's really effective.
I agree with you. So I think they're great lyrics as well. Like I would rate them similarly to you.
Yeah, cool.
I just think the music takes it to a crown for me. Yeah. So we are definitely in agreement with that.
But so like this song, I think one of the reasons, not so much this song rather, this album, another reason why it's really effective is like, it's coming from a really specific time in his life. Like it feels like all of these songs are about a particular time, like this window of time where he's like,
like I said, like a movie, like scenes from a movie, snapshots from his life. Yeah.
But it's not like, some people when they're doing like their debut it's not their debut album, it's their debut studio album. But this doesn't feel like a collection of songs that they've written over the years. It feels more like a collection of songs been written over a short period of time, reflecting a certain period in his life.
Absolutely.
Which
like
makes it work even more effectively.
Yes, because it's all so real. Because I feel like if you do write songs over different time periods, you end up creating, surely they come together in most cases to form a cohesive body of an album.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it can sound a bit like 12 songs on a CD.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not an album. But with this, because it's all so tightly interwoven,
yes,
there's tiny little bits that blend into one another throughout the concepts of the lyrics where you go, I can hear that all of this is connected rather than like songs from different things. Yes, but there's growth between those two songs. This is, as you're saying, it could be a day in a life, next day sort of thing. Him walking home from just hearing about that his girlfriend seeing someone else or seeing his girlfriend with someone else, like from the song earlier in Chump. Like it's such a movie in a album, which is what won me over because I was like, I'd never heard it that way.
Yeah.
All right. So if anyone's still listening to this podcast and not switched it off in absolute rage, I got Pulling Teeth.
Okay, this is good.
Okay, I give this one a great.
Yeah, okay.
I think this is a great song as well. Yeah. I think this is another crazy deep theme. So it says here that Pulling Teeth was written about the perspective of a man who was abused by his girlfriend and how he can't get out of the situation. The song uses dark humor. The inspiration comes from when bassist Mike Dirnt was having a pillow fight with his then girlfriend. Mike allegedly ran around a corner, hit his head, and landed on and broke both of his elbows, which is really funny. But the theme being that a guy has been abused by his girlfriend and is kind of like stuck there or whatever. To me, that reminds me of Brand New and Sick Transit Gloria. That blew my mind when I first heard it. The idea of a girl pressuring a guy into sex and the guy not really wanting to do it, but feeling pressured by the girl and feeling completely broken by the fact that he was like manipulated into doing that and stuff. And I'm like, what a cool theme. And this reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like, you mentioned like dark humor because it's kind of, the song, like musically, it almost feels like it has like a 50s type vibe.
Yes.
And feels like a love song. Like musically, if you listen to it in isolation without the lyrics, it sounds like this 50s love song.
Here. I said, does this song sound like the Beatles to you?
Yeah.
It sounds like the Beatles. This could be a Beatles song.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But then like the lyrics are totally incongruent because it's about, an abusive relationship.
Yeah,
like
so
that, it makes it work.
The irony kind of, here's the Beatles-esque love song, but we're going to sing about something darker.
And it stands out too because it's got like, musically stands out from the other songs on the album. Like it's a nice little point of difference, which is also good.
Yeah, but it has that kind of ironic kind of sarcasm to it, but like cheekiness of like, we're going to sing this like it's a full love song and it's actually twisted in a really like peculiar way.
I like too that they've come up with this like serious concept for a song, but it's actually about a time when he was having a pillow fight.
And then broke both his own elbows too. That's so funny.
Did you see the guitar in the bridge? To me, sounds so much like Homecoming from American Idiot.
Okay,
like the guitar tone.
I don't know Homecoming that well. I don't think.
Okay,
no, I don't know.
I
what
think
you're referring.
You'd hear
to.
it. So you'd know it if you heard it.
Yeah. You'd hear it if you heard it.
You would hear it. You would.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, there are certain points on this album where you can hear where they were going eventually with American Idiot. Because I remember when that came out, that felt like a massive, and it was a massive step in a different direction, but it felt like totally different to everything else that they'd done before. But
do you remember at your old family house when we used to get on that back room and we watched the Live 8 and Green Day played American Idiot there? And there's that one little cut of when he's like, he's playing the riff, the down, and the way that the camera cuts, the last frame is him pulling the weirdest face. It's so funny. It made us laugh so much that we used to like joke about the Billy Joe face playing guitar. It's so unfortunate. He's just caught moving in as the camera changes, and it's the last thing you remember is that shot. But
But I was going to say, I think you can hear the seeds of that sound at different points on this album, which is interesting. Like it's literally 10 years earlier.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a couple of points where I thought that. All right, Basket Case.
Yeah.
What'd you give this?
Oh, man. Not Crown. I just wanted to
give it Crown?
Yes. What'd you give it?
Flame.
Okay, I can understand that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if you thought I was going to just go on a wild take about Basket Case. One of the greatest songs ever of in the genre.
Well, I've got, is this the perfect pop punk song?
Oh,
like
the perfect pop punk song.
Like, I guess everyone's tastes are going to be different, but like in terms of like encapsulating the genre,
Yeah.
Um,
Do you know I've thought about this? Like actually over the years of like, because it wasn't that I sat there and thought, what is the perfect pop punk song? I heard it and went, do you know what? From the riff to the melody, to the verses, to the chorus, to the bridge, to the choruses, the entire start to finish with it being about 3.5 minutes. I think I know what is the most textbook perfect pop punk song.
Okay.
Let me disclaimer it. I know that to everyone, pop punk means different things. To some people, it's Simple Plan. To other people, it's No Effects. Like there is a huge gap in the middle of like what pop punk actually is.
Sure.
But for me and the era that I grew up in, the song that I think is the most perfectly written pop punk song, lyrically, melodically, everything is Makes No Difference. What?
Melodologic?
Melodically. Melodically is Makes No Difference by Sum 41.
Yeah, right.
From the riff with the 4 chords to the happiness, the vibe, and then the verses and the singing and the big choruses with the harmonies and everything. I'm like, if you were to show someone pop punk, I think Makes No Difference is a perfect introduction to that. Now, obviously, that's come much later. That's much poppier than something like this. And someone else might come forth and say Linoleum by NoFX is the most perfect pop punk song. And that would sound punk in comparison.
Yeah.
But to me, in my era, I would say it makes no difference.
Yeah. Because I was thinking like, I was wondering what would be on the Mount Rushmore of pop punk songs.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess everyone could have their own taste in terms of what they would put on their Mount Rushmore. But
some
like,
people would
like,
say, I would think something like The Middle by Jimmy Eat World or Misery Business by Paramore, stuff like that. Like they're really big, like popular in the mainstream kind of songs.
Whereas to me, I think Basket Case has to be on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I think Damn It by Blink.
Damn It by Blink, 100%.
Yeah.
I would agree with that 100%.
I was also thinking Makes No Difference by Sum 41.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
See, I think that's a perfect pop punk song, but I don't know if I'd put it on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
But then again, what is the Mount Rushmore? Is it your personal favorite 4 songs or is it the 4 greatest songs for the genre?
Yeah.
Surely one band can't be represented twice. That's Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
so then is it the 4 best? Well, it wouldn't be the 4 best bands and a song to represent them each. It's the song that represents the genre the best.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I would probably say Linoleum would
I was
be
going
up
to
there.
say, I think, Linoleum for sure.
Genuinely. But also like My Friends Over You by Newfound Glory, like another like absolute banger to go up on the Mount Rushmore.
And then like how far back do you go? Do you go Blitzkrieg Bop as well?
Oh,
like,
Blitzkrieg Bop, 100% should be up there. Because if it's the Mount Rushmore, that's the old president. But it's the, you know what I mean? It's definitely should be up there.
Yeah. I think this is something we might have to come back to though.
Yes.
Maybe,
definitely.
Maybe we could develop this over time.
Yeah. What if we come up with like the Pop Punk Book Club Mount Rushmore and we get everyone to vote on their favorite songs and stuff like that? You can have your individual Mount Rushmores. We just have to figure out what it's representing. Greatest song. Because, for example, Basket Case influenced so much. So that should be up there. Damn It should be up there as well.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to Basket Case.
Yes.
Pachelbel's
Canon in D.
Beg your pardon?
Pachelbel's Canon in D. Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? Pachelbel's Canon, the classical music thing. A lot of brides walk down the aisle to it, but it's that chord progression.
Right. I was going to say that they obviously, you know, all of these songs are variations on a 1-4-5 type progression.
Yeah.
But I really like Billy Joe's variations on it.
Yes.
Like they're very different from like the way Blink vary that progression, for instance.
Yes.
And this song does it in particular. But I think going to
That's a good point. He doesn't stick, because that's the thing with a lot of pop punk bands, as you said, Blink, but it could be other bands as well. When they hit a chorus, it's going to be a chorus progression. But and it's almost like they pull from the banks of like what has worked in the past or what they're used to playing. And a lot of times that ends up being that 1-5-6-4 progression.
Yeah.
But with this whole album, you can never tell where it's going to go.
No.
And even though this is very familiar because it's Pachelbel's Canon in D, it's that chord progression.
Yeah, sure.
There's a video. Remember that Tripod video where the guy does all the 4 chords or whatever?
Yes.
There's another one where a guy talks about Pachelbel's Canon in D.
Yeah,
I wonder if I can find it.
Yeah, please do. While you're doing that.
Yeah.
I was talking on, I can't remember which episode it was, about songs that start with palm muted guitar and vocals.
Yes. Yes, you were talking about that last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it always works.
Yes.
And this might be the best example of that. Do you think?
Yes. Of what? Sorry, go. So I wasn't listening. I was trying to find this video, but I did find it.
Have I got your attention now?
Yes.
Are you going to show me the video now, or do you want to?
I'll let you finish your point.
Yeah, okay.
Or restate your point.
There's no point now. It's lost.
Okay.
It's gone.
I'll just rewind the podcast and I'll listen to it again and I'll get back to you next
respond
week.
to me next.
Check this out.
You can send a voice memo.
And I began to wonder why. Why would Pachelbel do this to such a beautiful instrument? Why would he stick it with such a crappy part? And my theory is that he once dated a cellist, and she dissed him really bad. Like, I don't know what she did. She slept with Mozart or something. I don't even know if they were alive at the same time. It'd be gross if they weren't. My point is, don't dwell on the image. My point is, she did something horrible to ruin his life, so he tried to ruin the lives of cellists for the rest of his life. It wouldn't be so bad if I didn't hear him every day. You're probably thinking, Rob, stop listening to classical music. Problem solved. No, he's following me. Sounds paranoid, but it's true. He might be following you too, you just don't realize it. I went to my step-nephew-in-law's 8th grade graduation. Yeah, I don't know how we're related, but he's there every Christmas. So I'm at this 8th grade graduation trying to enjoy it. They play that Friends Forever song that everybody plays. The music starts, I try to enjoy the graduation, the sinking feeling hits me. As we go on, we'll remember. So I figure I'm only going to listen to nouveau punk rock for the rest of my life. No, do you have the time to listen to me whine? You know I'm getting really bored, cause all songs have the same damn chords. A punk music is a joke, it's really just Baroque. Am I just paranoid? I wanna push you around, well I will, whoa. It's been good living with you. And my machine head is better than the rest. My machine head is better than the... See the stone set in her eye, see the thorn twist in her. He was a boy,
You have to stop
she
it.
was a girl.
Because that's not fair, what he's doing there. He's running through all the songs at the end. You see what he cleverly did? He's just switched into a 1-5-6-4 progression.
right.
That's not Pachelbel's canon anymore.
Yeah,
You can't use all them as evidence. That's throw that evidence out, whatever you say in the courtroom. But again, that's just the Pachelbel's canon chord progression.
Yep.
It's really interesting because that's why I say it's Pachelbel's canon in D. It's literally the chord progression.
Yeah, sure.
It's not like a 1-5-6-4 progression that happened to be used. It's so tied to that song.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you could stumble upon it by chance, but it's not a 4-chord progression. It's over 8 chords. And you know what's funny though is that you'd hear this and go, "Oh, Pachelbel's canon in D, right?" Now, if you were to do that, it'd be like, "Oh, it's the basket case chord progression."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't use that chord progression. So, what makes this song a flame for you?
I love any song that starts with palm muted guitar.
You got you from that.
You got me from that.
Could have done whatever he wanted for the rest of the song, to be honest.
I just think it's perfect. It's really hard to describe.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense because you said it was the perfect representation of a pop punk song. So yeah, that makes sense. I just think that it's. I mean, obviously, I could sit here talking about it all day, and I'd just be saying the same things that you would already be thinking, and I'm sure that a lot of the listeners feel too. It is such a iconic, recognizable pop punk song. It's kind of like if someone listening now doesn't like this song, I'd be interested in hearing why. Because there's not much to not like about it.
Yeah.
Other than, you know what, doesn't count if you write in and say, "I've heard it too much," because that doesn't really count.
Yeah.
That is why you don't like it. I get that, but it's not why the song might not be good. If you're into the genre and you don't like this song and it hasn't been overplayed, I'd like to hear why.
I think if you were into older Green Day and perhaps the more punkier side of
fair enough.
pop punk, then you might be like, it's a bit too poppy.
Yeah. So I gave this one a great.
I said Crown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know, to me though, when it first came in, I was like, this has fine written all over it. The first verse just feels, it feels less production than the other ones. It feels a bit like just kind of simple and like the vocals are quieter and stuff.
Yeah.
It felt a little bit more amateur than the other songs.
Yeah, okay.
And then that chorus just came out of nowhere and I was like, what a chorus that is. I agree with you. The chorus is a Crown chorus. But the verse to me, because it felt fine to me, it didn't pull me all the way to Crown because that verse still feels fine. It just feels, it doesn't have the energy that other verses have on the albums and stuff. And it's quite glaringly obviously so because of how consistent the album has been so far.
Yeah, okay.
There's been no fines.
Yeah.
This whole time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So to me, that was the least energy I've heard out of any of the songs so far. So I was like, oh, here comes the fine. You know what I mean?
Interesting, because I quite like that the verse sounds a bit different. Okay. And I love Billy Joe's vocals in it. I just think there's such a they're so sincere.
Yes, sincere.
Like, you just kind of you buy what he's saying.
And also,
you know what I mean?
he's saying like, I don't care anymore sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then he goes on to care for the rest of the album pretty much. And that's really, really good.
Yeah.
And I love that about what he's and how he's done that, because he doesn't come off like and I don't care, and he's me singing about how I don't give a crap. It's like, I do. And that makes you go, oh, like you kind of not feel sorry for him, but you empathize with him a lot. And you'd be like, you kind of almost want to be his mate to be like, let him know he's doing all right. Like he's giving it his best shot, but he's just a bit worn out.
Yeah.
And rather than, I always got the vibe from Green Day that they were like, we don't care, and that's our anthem, and we don't have much substance to our lyrics because we're just about having fun and that kind of vibe. I didn't realize they were so deep like this.
Yeah.
Not saying that you have to be deep for me to like you, because I think a lot of bands can do that. Like they can be more surface level and still just be super fun and super lighthearted, and that's enough.
But I think he pulls off the deeper songs because his vocals have this like empathetic quality.
Yeah. Good point. Absolutely. But even when I didn't really know what he was saying, I still felt that.
Yeah.
That's why you're right, he sings it so well that the lyrics don't even really...
And it almost makes you want to empathize for this girl that he's writing the song about in the song.
Yeah. So this one was about the feminist poem that he said that his girlfriend read him a feminist poem called She, so he wrote this song back to her, and then she broke up with him.
Yes.
He told VH1 that after showing her the song, she dumped him and moved to Ecuador. I just straight WTF? What? That is so strange. But then he's explaining in this side note thing we got in the margin. He says, essentially, like, I was agreeing with her. And like even the line that says like, scream at me till my ears bleed, a lot of people could hear that as saying like feminists are overly loud and they scream at people till their ears bleed. But he's saying, I wanted to learn. Like you've misinterpreted me. I think that's so sweet.
I loved his takes about it, where he's saying that this song's always had a really special like connection for him, loves playing it live.
Yeah.
It's aged really well.
Even the fact that his girlfriend broke up with him over it, I think that matters to him. Like, it's like, that's really cool.
And he was like saying that he'll always play it live.
That's really cool.
Like, I think that just gives the song so much more. Like knowing that he has, like it's special to him.
I love the line. She's figured out all her doubts were someone else's point of view, waking up this time to smash the silence with the brick of self-control. I was like, what a good lyric.
Yeah.
So good.
That chorus is such a banger as well.
I agree. If the
It's
song
a phenomenal chorus
had the energy of earlier songs in the verses as well, honestly, that could be a Flame-esque chorus. You know what I mean? Like, I can get that. It's just the verses to me just didn't hit.
Whereas I think for me, the way he sings the verses, I kind of just buy into it. It gives me more of a connection, which is what elevated it a bit more than it might otherwise have been.
Right. To break down my thought a little bit more, it feels like when a lot of the other songs sound like, hey, here's an idea I have, and the band go, oh, let's work on that and add really cool drum lines and sections and bass lines. And it's just like, whoa, where did that come from? That chord progression is crazy. It's like he had the idea for the verse and the drums are just so standard, and it's like, the bass is just going, it feels jammy. Like, and maybe that's what they wanted, and maybe that's perfect for what it needs to be. It might want to sound a little bit weak and kind of timid and like mild, I guess, and then just explode in the chorus. And if that's the case, then cool. It just didn't land for me that hard.
Yeah.
But to me, it just felt a little bit like he's playing it at a rehearsal and the drummer, like Trey just starts coming in with a beat to just to play something. It didn't feel as intentional.
I mean, I guess to look at it another way, it allows room for the vocals to kind of like have the focus.
And also a contrast for the chorus.
Yeah.
I get that. But to me, it just, as I said, for me to put this song on and it'd be a crown, I'd have to get through the verses. And to me, they just don't land for me as much.
It was also not a song that I have listened to a whole lot before. Other than, when we did this listen through, like,
I haven't heard
I think I'd heard it before, but
think
it's not really a song that I'd ever really spent a lot of time listening to. Whereas like, giving it a good listen this time, I was like,
Do you think it'll be on your rotation now?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good way of looking at it. Alrighty, so Sassafras Roots.
Yes.
Dr. Sassafras? Remember that from high school? What was that from? Ben used to do that in high school.
Ben did it. We used to do prank phone calls from the phone, like the payphone at the front of the high school, and he would always, that was one of his like stock standard ones.
I have
Dr.
Sassafras. I have a note in my phone of wanting to tell you about something about the prank phone calls, but I can't bring myself to talk about it. It's one of the cringiest things of my life, and I cannot.
Cringy in what sense?
Oh man, I don't want to talk about it. My back is cringing, like in my muscles are cringing around because it is one of the cringiest things ever. Maybe I'll tell it on another episode or something like that. But I tried one day because you guys did the prank calls. You used to disappear away at lunchtime, everyone. This is what's going on. Sam and Ben used to disappear out because there's a payphone right out the front of the school. So you'd go out of school grounds, which now they've got massive fences, you wouldn't be able to do it. But back in the day, you could just hop the little fence and get over to the payphone, or at the end of school or whatever, and do prank calls. And it would be such a normal thing because we'd be sitting there having lunch or whatever. I'm like, oh, we're just going to duck away and do a prank call. And we're like, okay, see ya. And you would just go to a prank call. And I was like, that sounds pretty fun. That sounds really cool. And there was one day that I randomly, when I was leaving school, was like, I might do a prank call, see what it's all about. And dude, it was the cringiest
on your
thing.
own?
Yeah, just by myself.
Yeah.
What did you do with Ben? You just did a prank call?
Yeah. We'd
How does it matter being with someone?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think it was just...
It's pretty pathetic and lonely and like super depressing doing it by yourself, especially when
who are you like laughing about it with? Like, who's
no one was laughing.
That's the thing.
No, it was the cringiest thing ever. I'll tell the story in another podcast, but genuinely, it's one of the cringiest stories of my life.
In fact, you might be the only person ever to have done a prank phone call on their own.
I just I want to see what it's all about, and then just cut to me hanging on the phone.
Almost like
never doing that shit again. It was the cringiest thing ever.
But it's almost like at the end of it, you've got to stop and just say to the person, look, this was a prank phone call. Can we just have a laugh about this? Because I've got no one else to share this with right now.
No, she picked it straight away.
Did she?
And it was like, oh, please don't call and do that. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, it was so pathetic. Oh, my goodness. I'll tell that story in another show.
1-800 numbers as well, like something where it was free.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I might have paid for it after all that. I don't think I knew that trick. 1-800 reverse, the person who you're calling
God. I think it was it 1-800 numbers that are free?
I think so, back in the day.
Yeah.
Anyway, Satisfact Bruce.
Yeah.
What'd you give this one?
I said fine.
I gave this one a good.
Did you?
Yeah.
For me, I felt it was a little too repetitive.
Okay.
Like I kind of get that almost reinforces the concept of the song in the way. Like, it's about like wasting time.
Yes.
And so I guess it's kind of about the idea that like time is kind of rolling on.
Yeah.
Like, and not much is happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
that's the thing. But
the
that's
idea
what
of the
I'm
song having this kind of like circular nature to it, I guess does reinforce that. But for me, it has the effect that the song's a little bit boring.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to say is that even if that's what you're saying, if it was their vision, cool, but it just didn't resonate with you. And that's what I feel like about the other songs that I might have rated lower.
Yeah, sure.
I said this sounds like another Beatles sounding song.
Yeah. Okay.
It's very in line with the themes of this album. It's a love song, but it has a like punk kind of sad and miserable twist on it. You know what I mean? It's like you could have written this as like, oh, we're wasting time together, but you're still wasting time. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, does that make sense? Like, if you wrote a song being like, oh, you and I could just waste time together, that could sound really romantic. And this sounds like we've got nothing better to do, but why can't you waste your time with me? You're going to be wasting time. Why not do it together?
Yeah.
Which just seems a little bit, feels a little bit miserable, but in like a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've said it's the longest 2.5 minute song of all time.
See, 2.5 minutes can be a long time. You should be telling Jess that. So like, I'll show you Sasha Fat Food. 2.5 minute special. That's what that is. Alrighty, When I Come Around.
Yes.
Would you give this one?
Flame.
Oh, okay. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give this one a crown.
Crown. Okay.
Yeah.
This was always my favorite Green Day song.
Like ever? Like out of
the whole time I've known Green Day, this was my favorite. What a guitar hook to start a song with.
Oh, isn't it weird to take such a used chord progression and make it so recognizable?
I've literally written so recognizable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's nothing original about the chords.
No, there's other chords in this where you could be like, oh, that's different or whatever.
Yeah.
But this is a 4-chord progression, 1, 5, 6, 4. And he makes it so that no one could ever touch that style again without it being like, oh, that's just When I Come Around by Green Day.
Yeah.
I agree with you. When I was 14, it was just before I really like kind of discovered all the bands I liked. I had this song on my computer. I don't know how it got there. I might have been a mixtape, might have been Kazaa, LimeWire. People always talk about LimeWire, but there was Kazaa before that and Morpheus before that. I remember that.
I think I jumped on at the Kazaa time.
Yeah. So Kazaa, I might have got it from that, but or maybe didn't, allegedly, right? Because I don't know. I don't think I did. Anyway, it was on my computer, and I used to listen to this song so much. I only had a couple of songs on my computer, and I had it on repeat, and I loved this song so much when I was younger. But it was almost like it got replaced once I started to listen to bands that I liked a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay.
But I really, really loved this song back in the day, and still do now. It's so good.
Brilliant guitar tone as well. Like
kind
of like crunch.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Like as I was saying
in your
before,
face,
like
gritty.
muddy and gritty. It's
Yeah.
like sludgy, not sludgy. It just sounds like that's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Muddy, gritty, but not sludgy. But you know, it just sounds big but heavy, but not metal heavy or like something like that or hardcore. It's very it's just big. Like but that's the thing. We haven't even talked about the fact that they're a 3-piece and they sound this big.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's you forget that because it sounds like there's more going on than 3. They play with an extra guitarist now, don't they?
They play with an extra guitarist live. Yeah, have done for quite a while.
Yeah, right. Cool.
Maybe even as far back as this album. I'm not 100% sure when the guy started.
Oh, when they did it
playing
live? I thought it was around like American Idiot.
No, I'm pretty sure it was before that.
Oh, okay, right.
Or I think.
Right, okay.
I have to check. But I've got a feeling they record their songs live as well. Like as in
like playing as a band.
I think so.
Yeah, right, all right.
Or at least they did for this album, which again makes it even more impressive.
Absolutely, it does. But it also shows why it's so tight together because they're like playing together rather than tracking to like a previous track.
Yeah, yeah.
Which there is a difference for that. I feel like you sacrifice a little bit of quality. It depends on the studio. If you have a really big studio, probably isn't, but you can get some really tight recordings that way. I have a note here that I say, interesting that to hear that the chorus is really kind of just the hook. You know what I mean? Like it's just really, there is a chorus here, obviously, but it feels like the whole chorus is building up to the when I come around. That's literally, it's like
you're right.
Yeah, it's like a one-line chorus. But a lot of people are like, no. It starts with the no time to search the world around. That's the chorus.
Yes.
But that feels like it's a pre-chorus build-up crescendo to the when I come around, and that's it.
That's a really good point.
It's just a one-line chorus. But it doesn't feel at all like it's lacking.
No.
If you say to someone, sing the chorus to when I come around, they would probably just go, when I come around.
Yeah.
They might not go for the no time to set the world around.
Yes.
That'd be quite strange if they did that.
I love the pacing of this song as well.
Okay.
Because you think that like a lot of the songs on the album are super fast and energetic.
Yes.
There's a couple of exceptions that we've spoken about, but most of them are like, I've got a lot of energy right from the start.
Yeah.
This one's obviously a lot more laid back. And it works so well, I think, because it gives so much room to that guitar hook and the vocals to have space to kind of like, to stand out.
Yes.
And in this song, I just think that works so well.
It says here, when I come around is about a boy who wants to be in a casual relationship but has become involved with a girl who wants something more serious. His insecurities and poor self-image are detailed throughout. And I said, another example of a love song with an inspired twist on it just to make it more grounded in reality and real to life circumstances. But the idea of him being like, I'm into you for certain reasons and you want more, but I could just be like, no, I'm too cool because I'm a player and want to date heaps of girls but not commit to anything. But I'm actually like insecure about me. Like it's because that's the reason why I don't want to commit. It's honest and it's real. It's like, it's such a, but again, you could have given that premise to other people and it would never have come out with that little twist to it. And I'm like, and it, you know what I mean? If lightning keeps striking, then obviously there's something about that place. And he's doing that with every song. No wonder it's... I
like though that it seems more, at the start of the song, there's a bit more attitude towards this girl where he's kind of like, he's checked out, not interested. But then later on, it's like, it's more his insecurities not being able to commit.
Yeah, and it's a really pretty bridge too. With the pretty kind of line over the top of it as well, which is almost like what you hear in like Tom DeLonge's guitar work, like that type of stuff too. So I wonder if there's a bit of that type of influence. But apparently they don't get along, Blink-182 and Green Day. I've heard that. I don't know much about it, but I've just heard that they don't particularly like each other. Or Green Day doesn't particularly like Blink. I don't know why.
I think I'm maybe predominantly Green Day, not being huge fans of Blink. Have you finished the Mark Hoppus memoir?
I haven't read any more of it. I need to get back into it. I've been finishing up my book. So, which I have finished, by the way.
Have you?
3.5 years and I'm on to my final read through. So,
congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Mark talks a bit about it in the book when he's talking about the Pop Disaster Tour.
Okay.
It comes back to what we were talking about earlier about how when they did that tour, like at that point, Blink were kind of like at their peak.
Yeah.
Green Day were kind of like in a little bit of a lull, really.
Yes, okay.
And so I think Blink were headlining that tour.
Right.
And Green Day were, this is Mark's version, they had like written into their contract that they wouldn't go on stage until sun was down.
Okay.
But it was like a summer tour. And so sometimes that's not till quite, well, not sometimes, but that's not till quite late.
Yeah.
Like it varies from city to city.
From day to day as well. Sounds like, later today.
Oh, wait a bit. Today? But so Green Day, were what that meant was that Blink were having to start their set later, and
Yeah.
in some of the towns where they were going to, there were like restrictions on like when the show had to finish.
okay.
So Blink were having to cut their sets shorter,
Right.
and so there was tension there.
Yeah.
And so I think Mark's take was that Green Day were always super friendly, like to their face,
Oh.
but Mark would say something like, just pointing out this issue and like saying, look, you guys need to be finished by a certain time. And Green Day would be like, yeah, sure, man, we'll do it. And then like the next day they didn't. Like their set would finish. when
Yeah,
they were
right.
due. And that,
So just like Death of a Thousand Cuts kind of thing over
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
but it's interesting that like, so I think Green Day's perception at that stage was like possibly not having a huge amount of respect for Blink.
Yeah.
And feeling as though like, why are people more interested in Blink than
Oh,
interested
true.
in
There'd
us?
be a bit of that.
But then they go and they do American Idiot kind of not that long afterwards. And so
And blow
like,
up.
to what extent was that kind of like a response in a
Yeah,
way?
maybe.
Like,
Good point. That's actually a good point. Yeah, that's really cool.
Coming clean.
Yeah.
What'd you give this?
I gave this one a good, but I very much considered a great for this one.
Yeah, cool. I said good as
Yeah.
well. What a cool concept.
Yeah, he came out as bisexual. And how like bold is that to do that in this genre? And
Yeah.
like, I mean, it makes sense. On this album, it makes sense for him to come out like that. But
Well, it's super brave, just generally, like considering this was the mid '90s to kind
Exactly.
of like be writing a song about that. Like that's
yeah, but I didn't know that about him till, I mean, maybe I'd heard it throughout my life, but I hadn't really heard it till reading it now.
I
So
didn't. I didn't know.
Right. Okay. So maybe I've heard somewhere that he's bisexual. Good on him for having the courage to kind of write a song about this, because I don't know how the music scene would have responded to it. I don't know if he knew how the music scene would have responded to it back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's a lot of unknowns.
Yeah. And it sounds as though he was really embraced because of it.
Yeah.
But you're right. When he wrote it, he didn't necessarily know that was going to be the case.
Yeah. And look at the lyrics. It's like 4 lines pretty much.
Yeah.
And I said here, he doesn't need a lot of lyrics to make himself heard. Like
Yeah.
he just said, and like, for such a topic that you'd think that might be overcompensated with a lot of lyrics of like,
Yeah.
let me explain myself if I'm going to, let me make it really clear.
Yeah.
So I don't need to. I'm kind of
Yeah.
confident with who I am and what I'm about.
Yeah.
Just found that really interesting. I haven't really seen bands be this open. A lot of
No.
times they talk about their relationships and their feelings toward other people and maybe their own insecurities, but to reveal something like this about themselves in a song is
Yeah.
quite bold. Like, and
Yeah.
I just haven't seen other people do it. So good on him for that.
Yeah.
I did say that I love how this one opens though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear a real like 50s vibe at the start.
To me, there's a bit of like, in this whole album, there's a bit of Beatles, but to me, also,
Yeah.
I haven't mentioned this yet. I don't think I wrote notes about it. Very Beach Boys in
Beach
certain
Boys,
parts.
yes.
Yeah, like
Yep.
Pet Sounds kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I think for me, what kept it as a good rather than going to a great is like it lacked something like distinctive in
Okay.
terms of like the chorus or like a hook or something like that.
Yeah,
for
okay.
me.
Yep.
I think for me, really, the song's all about the lyrics.
Yes.
I think if this was a song that was
Honestly,
about another,
It's like a tiny little, not a flame, but a little ember. Hearing about that, I was like, ooh, that's actually added a lot more emotional depth to the song. Very
Yeah.
cool. So I think that's why I was tossing up with a great, because it was
Yeah.
just giving it a little edge.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I can't really relate to that. So like, it's not going to pull my emotions out, but I was like, wow, it's deeper than I thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know what you mean.
I think without knowing what the song is about, I think I probably would have rated it less than what I did, to be honest.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So it has bumped it up a little bit for you.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Cool.
Amenius? How do
Yeah.
you say that word?
Amenius Sleepers.
Amenius Sleepers.
Mm.
Sounds like a Merlin spell. You know what I mean?
I think
Amenius Sleepers.
What'd you give it?
A couple of attempts at saying it just then.
Yeah.
I gave
Not
this one a
enough.
great.
You gave it a great.
Yeah.
Wow. I
What'd
gave
you
it a
give?
fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a big
It's pretty-
disparity.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
I just said it's like a solid, safe punk song.
Yeah, I said really upbeat, catchy song. The part where he says, I think I'm sick and I want to go home.
Yeah.
That line. It reminds me of Batfoot. It sounds
yeah.
a lot like
Okay.
a Batfoot song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is the thing. I wrote this note. I said so many great songs that aren't crowns, but are just so solid. I think this is just
Yeah.
a solid, great song.
Yeah.
To me, this is on the same level as what's the first one called?
Burnout.
Burnout. I thought it was like, is it Breakout or Burnout? That one and like having a blast.
Oh,
like
wow.
that
Okay.
to me, this is on a similar level.
I don't think it's as interesting as those songs. It doesn't
Okay.
doesn't get me in the same way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I do really like the bridge, where they kind of break it down a bit with Mike's bass line.
Yeah.
They
They do that a
That's
bit,
my favorite part
actually.
of the song.
It's very typical on this album to bring it down, to have like a bassliney kind
Yeah.
of thing and then build back up to a chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool little thing they do.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, yeah, if you hear it as fine, you do. But to me, that just seems like another great song. And this is the thing. It's like sometimes you put albums on to be like, I just want to hear the bangers and I want to sing along and stuff.
Yeah.
But some albums are like vibe albums that you just want for that. And I
Yeah.
feel like this contributes to that of knowing that there's not going to be a lull. Like there's no like string of 3 finds or 4 finds or good in the middle, like fine, good, fine, back to songs. It's like pretty consistent.
Yeah.
That's the way at least I see it.
In the end.
Ironically, not the end of the album.
That is true.
Would you give this one?
I said a fine as well.
Dude, what? I give this one a great as well. 2 greats in a
Yeah,
row,
wow.
2 fines in a row. That's a pretty big thing.
Yeah.
We have been, what a bloody exhausting episode this has been. This is like, but I can't believe you did this. Wait a minute, you can't believe I did something. Just backing and forthing about it.
Again, I just thought
Fine.
it was just a solid song.
Yeah.
But for me, there was nothing about it that jumped out at me, nothing that grabbed me.
But that doesn't even make it good.
Just
Thought it was
something held
fine.
it back.
Yeah, okay. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I said,
it wasn't really memorable in any way. For
Right.
me.
It says here, in the end was written from Billy's point of view as he saw his mother date other men after his father's death. He had grown tired of seeing his mum with them and got sick of the image they showed. I said, another crazy theme. Like,
Yeah.
that's a really cool theme. I love the lyrics that says, all brawn and no brains, yeah, and all those nice things. Yeah, you finally got what you wanted. Someone to look good and light your cigarette. Is this what you really want? I figured out what you're all about, and I don't think I like what I see, so I hope I won't be there in the end when you come around. And I was like, I love this part. I went to highlight a bit, but it just kept grabbing me, the lyrics. So I just kept going, I love, just go all the way down. And the second verse is really good too. And that's most of the song. Then it says, how long will he last before he's a creep in the past? That's a really cool line.
Yeah.
And you're alone once again. Again, weird to be like, and how long until you're alone again? It's almost like he would prefer her to be alone than to
Yeah.
be with these guys. Will you pop up again and be my special friend till the end? And when will that be? Maybe it's that struggle of feeling like he's losing his mum to other
Yeah.
people that he doesn't feel like deserves her. But I said it reminds me of like old punk stuff, like a little bit of Ramones in this one.
Yeah, okay.
Again, another really good vibe song for the album of like, if you want to put Dookie on, like, you know what you're in for.
Yeah.
I can't believe how much I've come around on this album, man.
Yeah,
Like, genuinely.
Impressed.
This is what I love about the book club is that it opens closed minds.
Interesting though that for 2 songs in a row, I've said fine, you've said great. That's a pretty.
On an album that you thought I would. This
Yes.
sounds like it would be the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only those 2 songs, which just, I'm not saying they're bad. It's just.
Right. Are you
They didn't
still
really
as
grab
hurt
me.
about my Longview rating now? Or is that still bitter? Or are you just like, you know what? You like the other songs as well?
I'm just surprised.
Well, you did say
I'm just
on that,
disappointed.
at that point, you said it depends how you rate moving on.
That's
And-
true, actually. Yeah.
So I've actually
Mind you, I don't think you've had a flame yet.
no,
Yeah.
I haven't had a flame yet.
Yeah.
And even though I toyed around with it with Welcome to Paradise, I really loved that one.
Yeah.
It just didn't grab me that much. And I think
okay.
that is probably honest and authentic to how I feel about Green Day. There was nothing about them that really grabbed my emotions.
Yeah, right.
So this I'm really appreciating as like a fellow creative, but looking at them going, wow, how did you do this? Like I'm looking up to you for what you've created.
Yeah.
But as a consumer, it's not like I don't feel an emotional gravitational pull toward Green Day.
Yeah.
And I feel like
That's
that's
fine.
always been there, but I'm actually I've grown up enough to be able to appreciate them, at least from the distance that I'm at. But it's,
Yeah.
that type of thing.
That's all we can ask for.
So just give it your best shot.
All right. Last track.
Yeah, FOD.
Yeah.
Do you know what this reminds me of? Is that Carl Barron joke where the real estate agent calls him up and goes, why are you telling me about the houses selling in my street? He's like, oh, FYI. And he's like, what's that mean? He's for your information. He's like, righto then, FOD. He's like, what's that stand for? He's like, fuck off, dickhead. But as soon as he says in the joke, when I first heard that FOD, I knew exactly what it stood for. And that made me laugh because this says fuck off and die.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Anyway, what'd you give this one?
Great.
Great as well. Yeah.
Great.
Really
Yeah.
good.
It's such a sick song.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool. Where he says,
I was borderline crown for this.
yeah, okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. I
just
agree.
think perfect melody.
Yeah. The line that says, let's nuke the bridge we torched 2,000 times before. What a lyric.
Yeah.
That's so good.
But also the melody he sings is like.
Yeah, true. But this is the thing. If a lot of people will try to do that like exaggerated kind of like hyperbole, like kind of overly emotional thing of like, you think you burned your bridges? Well, I'm going to like destroy the bridges and it's just over the top. But the fact that he says, let's nuke the bridge, which is an interesting idea, not just being like, let's burn all the bridges in all the land, which a lot of people would kind of go that angle.
Yep.
He's like, let's nuke the bridge, which is, a nuke is such a strange choice of words. It could be like, let's destroy, let's you know, whatever. There's a bunch of words for it. But nuke is just so overkill, but in like a comical kind of way, but also in a military kind of way. that we torched 2,000 times before. Like we've burned this bridge so many
Yes.
times just to get rid of it. Like that's such a cool lyric and a cool way of writing that.
It's another example of how he can just cut through. Like,
Yes.
doesn't need a lot of words.
No.
Like, and doesn't need to do it in a way that's corny or overwrought. He just
Yeah, and this is the
conveys
thing.
his message so effectively.
My first note for this album was, now this is how you end an album.
yeah.
Because we've been talking about that the last couple of albums, are like slowing it down and doing wrap-up songs
Yeah.
like Untitled Blink and Penny Bridge Pioneers for Millencolin. Like this is just a sick thing. And then the line being like, I'm taking pleasure in announcing this to you, so listen up because you might miss it. Good night. Like
Yeah.
it's just, I feel like at the start where he says, I feel like I've given up. Now it's just good night. Like I've
Yeah.
said everything, I'm going to bed. Like sort of thing. Just has to be a, it sounds like it's going to be a wrap-up song at first when it
yes.
first starts and then
Yeah.
just explodes in.
And when it does, it's just, the song takes off. It's so
Yeah.
good.
I think that might be the reason I didn't give it a crown, because the start part didn't grab me in the same way as
really?
when it explodes in. If they
Okay.
did it for like less time and just kind of came in quicker, I might be like, oh, cool. But
Oh.
to get, for it to be a crown, it makes my playlist of the unskippable songs. And
Yeah.
that's quite a long period of time to sit through what is arguably just great of the acoustic guitar and the singing.
Oh.
But when it explodes in, if it was a little bit sooner, I just feel like I
okay.
might have given it a
Interesting.
crown.
Whereas I still really enjoyed the acoustic part. And so I was borderline for the whole song in terms of whether it crossed the threshold into a crown, so to speak.
Yeah.
But that line in the chorus after the band comes in where it's, you're just a fuck, I can't explain it because I think you suck. and the way he sings that as well.
It sounds
I
like
love
he's
it.
sat
So
there
good.
with a pen and paper trying to find the words. He's
Yeah.
like, I just don't know what to say. This
Yeah.
is it. You know what I mean?
I'll just, you're just a fuck. There's nothing else I can say.
And what rhymes with that? You suck.
Yeah.
That's good.
I
I said
think
here-
you're totally right though. It's a perfect way to end the album.
Yes. I said this is an angry letter to speak to the annoyed and angsty teens of the 90s and like very
Yeah.
apathetic people. It's just
Yeah.
a letter to them of like, we're over it. And this, I've told you, this is my closing statement. I've told you all of my
Yeah.
evidence leading up to this point why I'm over it. This is why I am.
Yeah.
And I'm done with it all. I said, very cool to end this way ever such heavy themes on the album. It's like, this is how I feel and where I am, and I'm over it all.
Yeah.
Like, sick. What a cool way to end the album.
For sure.
Really good.
Except that technically it doesn't end the album.
It doesn't at all. It's a little joke song after this one
Yeah.
as well, which I didn't know if you were going to rate this one. That was my next question.
Well, that's the thing. I thought we were going to perhaps come to blows about, oh, have you added it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I added it to the document.
Did you?
Well, it's part of the album.
Well, no, see, I don't think it is.
Does it exist?
Oh, it exists. I'm not disputing that it exists.
Is it
but
on the album?
It's not a separately.
Is it on the album?
It's one hears it on the album. It's
Yeah.
not a separately listed track. So if you
No.
look at the track listing on the back of the original
On streaming it is.
release,
Yeah.
streaming it is. I agree, streaming it is, but you just can't trust it because that's
You know what's really
it's
funny?
already shown that that's not correct on a number of occasions where things have been listed on like certain streaming platforms in a different way to what it was when the album was
Yeah,
released.
true. But that's essentially, it's just a way of hiding songs. That was pretty popular at the time, especially in the 90s, of like hiding hidden songs in stuff,
Yes.
even if it's a joke. I would just consider this to be a context song, like an interlude style thing. And that's the thing we call them. We haven't really used that term much, but essentially context, because it doesn't have to be specifically an interlude. It could be a spoken word thing. It could be a poem or something. I guess you could call that an interlude, but it's definitely a creative decision for it to be included on the album. It's like in like Blink, where they've got the joke kind of like talky bits in it. I remember Five, the boy band. I used to love them when I was younger. And on their album, track 55 was like a bonus track there as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
when it comes down to it, if you picked up a guitar and said, play All By Myself, people could be like, oh, I'll do the All By Myself song by Green Day. So it's a song and it exists, but it's not a song, I don't think, in a way that the rest of the album is. It's clearly hidden because it's meant to be just a little funny little bonus track. So I would say it's a context song. If you were to rate it though, would you give it a terrible, fine, or great? For what it adds to the album. That's what we're trying to look for context pieces. Personally, I would give it a great.
I was going to say I probably would give it a great.
Because I think it's a great, funny thing to do after to show, it's almost like every song shows a little bit of like the personality orb of the band of like more this way, more that way. And this is just like, oh, if you've stuck this far, here's us being cheeky. Yeah. And it's a funny song. Trey Cool wrote it apparently.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also about masturbation as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. That's funny. I said I love the idea of the hidden joke track. It's very Goldfinger-esque. You know, they do that as well when they do the Wayne Gretzky song and stuff like that.
Yeah. But, I'm not going to give it a rating because I refuse to.
I don't understand this hill you're dying on with the context pieces. It's included in the album.
Yeah, but it's not. Anyway.
Yeah.
It is on the album. I don't dispute that it exists.
Yeah, but it's kind of like it's almost like you're considering it to be like a PS in a letter, but it should be still considered because it's part of. They chose to do it.
Hidden track. Anyway, we can agree to disagree.
But I'm trying to get to the bottom of this, of why you feel this way, because it's funny because I said on the Blink one, we probably won't come across it that often.
Yeah.
Literally 2 albums later.
Yeah.
But like, it's a creative decision to include it on the album, so it's a contextual piece that is included as part of the album. That's the way I see it. It shouldn't be ranked as a song but it isn't. It's rated as a contextual piece. And for contextual ratings, it's not, is this a banger or is it whatever? It's like, was this a good creative decision to include whatever this is as part of the album?
Yeah.
So like some albums have a little break in the middle. There's where it's just like spoken word or like a voice memo or something like that. You can't rate that as like a normal song type of thing. And you can't say that is a song because it's not. But creatively, was that a good decision for them to choose to put that there? Think about on Under Oath on They're Only Chasing Safety. Just before, I can't remember what the song is before it, but before they go into Dangerous Business, Walking Out Your Front Door, they do the blue note, which is that jazzy kind of brushes kind of drum. It's just a drum thing with like a little bit of sound over the top, but it's not really a song. But then to set that tone and kind of pull you away like, what? This doesn't sound like the rest of the album, and then explode into It's Dangerous Business, Walking Out Your Front Door. That to me is like, that's a great decision for them to put that on the album. Yep. But then other albums you hear and they do a little interlude and you're like, what was the point of that? Like, it's fine, I guess, but like, what was the point of that?
And I guess my point is that sometimes those sorts of tracks are listed. Like, for example, Blink will often list a joke track like Happy Holidays, You Bastard is listed on the album.
But that's a song. That's not a context song piece.
Well,
that's a song.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway. So that's the end of the album.
It is.
It's a cool way to wrap it up.
Yep.
But I have to say, my main note for this is I can't believe how much I've come around on it.
Yes.
I thought I would end up rating it a little bit, which I don't want to do because this is all about emotions. I feel like I sometimes want to rate it to be more like out of respect for knowing what it did. So if I might rank it a bit higher, but I'm like, no, rate it how you feel. And if you don't like it, you don't. But coming into this, I was like, wow, these are actually great sounding songs. I was like, well, I'm going to rate this as like pretty high. Maybe not all crowns, but like, some albums can just be crown after crown after crown, it seems. But for this one, I was like, you know what? I think I'll rate it pretty highly. And then after reading the lyrics, as I said, it just took me to a new level and a new appreciation. I think that's where I'm at now. I was like, wow, it's like I'm seeing Green Day in a whole new light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar for me, I think one of the take-homes for me from listening to it this time was how deeper the songs were than what I had originally realized. Because I'd never paid attention to the lyrics before either.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. And that definitely gives it, you appreciate it on a whole different level.
Alrighty. So ratings, what'd you give this one?
So, and I've now added in my additional rating, albeit grudgingly, for all by myself, which I gave a 5.
Yes.
Don't feel good about having done that, but whatever. My average comes to 4.8.
Right. So that puts you into a great category.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're just on the low side of great. It's interesting because I rated it higher than you.
That's really surprising.
It is surprising because I figured going into this that I would not rate it as high as you, and I don't think you expected me to either.
So what did you get?
5 on the dot.
5 on the dot.
Yeah.
Okay. So 4.8 to 5, sure.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. You gave a couple of flames.
I gave 2 flames. Yeah. And as well as a couple of crowns.
But I think the fines balance that out.
I gave, 3 fines, which probably brought it down a little bit.
Well, that's the thing. A flame. Oh, yeah, I guess so. I don't even know the math of it, but I didn't give any fines. So many 5s. Like my grades are just, Yeah. What are your highest rated tracks?
Oh, so I gave Flames to Basket Case and When I Come Around.
Yep.
And then Crowns to Longview, She. That might have been it.
Right.
And then Greats for a few others.
Yeah, so for me, pretty clearly it was Welcome to Paradise, Basket Case, and When I Come Around are the 3 crowns off this album.
Yep.
No flames for me. But I think that the rest of it was pretty solidly great.
Yep.
Couple of goods, but I mean, you're pretty consistent if you get to that point.
Yes.
Anyway,
so it's interesting. You kind of rated it along a narrower kind of like band.
Yeah.
I was a little bit more up and down, but we landed in a fairly similar point. Although I am surprised that you rated it higher than me, given that you've had this long-standing hatred towards Green Day.
Hatred's a strong word, but it's fair, So anyway, thank you so much for listening. That's another episode done of the Pop-Punk Book Club. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you have a friend that you would like to share this with, please do. We are just getting started with all this stuff. If you have any thoughts or questions or concerns or anything like that, if you want to tell us where we're wrong about these ratings, we will write, what have you given flames to? What have you given crowns to? Go send us an email to podcast@poppunkbookclub.com or go to poppunkbookclub.com and there'll be links there to send stuff through and submit things that way. We've got heaps of stuff coming and we're very excited to have you along this journey. But this is something we do purely just for passion. This takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and we want to do it for as long as possible as we can for you, because not only do we have to put all this work into doing all this stuff, we have to drag that useless producer Greg through the mud every time to get him to do anything as well. So please, is he even here? I don't know. He might have just left.
He's gone.
He's not out there.
We have been talking for a long time. This is a long episode.
This is a long episode that I did not expect to be a long episode. So great. There we go. So please, for, I don't know, so we can keep doing this for you, please, whatever platform that you listen to this on, we'd love it if you can interact with it there. If you're on YouTube watching, hit us with a subscribe. You can just see these episodes every single week and you can come be a part of this journey with us. If you're on a podcast app, please leave a 5-star review. Like, comment, that kind of thing if it's applicable on your specific platform, because the more that you support us, the longer we can do this for you. So we really love you to be a part of this. But on that note, what have we got for next week?
Next week we have, that is a good
Oh my goodness. Takes his mask off and he is Greg. Just.
We have, drum roll. Say it like you mean.
No. Rewind. Drum roll.
Yep.
In theme for this episode. Ready?
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Say it like you mean it by the starting line.
Starting line. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't really listen to them much in high school.
Yep.
I don't really know much about them, but I am very keen to get going. So yes, grab the rating guide at poppunkbookclub.com. You get the same one as us. It's completely free. And you can rate along with us, write notes, and then send us through your rating guides if you've written notes on it. We'd love to just see what you come up with. We are going to be in the process of building out a group so we can all just be a part of it, like a Discord server or something like that we can all be a part of. But that will be coming shortly, and we can all be chatting there. If that's the preferred platform of everybody. We're all like nearly 40s. Everyone just using Facebook or something like that. Still, we're the only ones using it.
Write letters to each other.
Yeah, let's do that. An actual book club, but through letters. But yeah, so feel free to come do that. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And remember, Sam, you got to sign us off. So what are you going to say?
That's right. Well, it's like I always say.